So it's just the three of us tonight? Cool.
The dialogue?
Yes, and you've gotten used to surviving.
Yes.
Okay, so this brings us up to session 67. We are doing the Jade Regent Adventure Path. You're in book number 5. Where is it? No, it is 5, yeah. You finally made it to book 5. And you are currently trying to twofold stop the bandits and recover a relic to get the samurais on your side. So, we'll start with Jeremy online. You introduce himself.
Yep. So, yes, well, good evening all. I am playing Nashru Visky, the adopted son, one of several, of Koya, and technically the youngest of the, or the most recent of the adoptees, although he's the eldest of the children since he's an elf.
But the youngest in maturity.
Sorry?
But the youngest in maturity.
Absolutely, that's it. And, yeah, as I say.
And your alternate character for tonight is?
Despite his youth and immaturity, he's still very knowledgeable and skillful around his assets in the world, and he's always got the right skill to help out when needed.
He does.
So, although apparently at the moment he wasn't necessarily quite quick enough to escape a collapsing tunnel. We're not entirely certain yet.
He was left on a cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. Okay, then we have Mark.
Playing Harori, who's under that tunnel right now.
No, you're under the building, totally separate.
Oh
yeah,
my god,
the building before the tunnel.
Yeah, the one that somebody went upstairs and forgot to, check things before he went upstairs, but that's okay. We won't bring that up. That's just past tense. It's okay. But I'm playing Harori, the human samurai, also known as the Broken One, also known as Protector of Amiko, who's almost failed his task within the first session of her coming in as a character sheet. I'm currently under a building or two, hoping to get back to my dear Amiko and make sure she feels better.
That will help eventually.
Hopefully.
Okay. Oh, sorry, not that one. Okay, so, and then we also have Grace at the table.
I am playing Iomi. I am a human cleric / Aslanti reincarnation. And I am also an adopted daughter of Koya, so sister to the immature Nashru. And I'm still in in denial about being any kind of reincarnation of the dead goddess of Kavna, even though I'm having more and more random memories and dreams and things. So, it's a little weird.
So,
Right. The immature Nashru recognised the greatness of the goddess long ago.
So we started off this adventure with you going to a outpost of bandits where you were helping some samurais to stop the groups because the group splits up and sends out riders to terrorize locals, and while it's doing so, it's at its most vulnerable. So they were going to take out the people on horseback while you were taking out their base of operations. But while you're taking out the base of operations, you were sent to recover the ancient sword of the samurai who was leading the charge against the riders.
And we're doing this in exchange for their support to basically overthrow the evil
To support
government.
Miko ongoing.
Yep.
So it was helping with the bandits was one thing. The sword was what was required to actually
Yep.
get support for Miko.
Yeah.
And we left last session where you'd been...
That's right, and he said that this is all Jeremy's fault because he was like, oh, we'll come back for that sword later. We don't need to get it now, and then everything collapsed. I remember now. She totally dubbed you in, Jeremy.
But there was a little bit of that.
Considering the fact that no one else in the party knew anything about spotting anything along those lines, and the fact that
Yeah,
because
she said that's
someone-
why it's your fault because you didn't even tell anyone the sword was there. No one was with you, so you just made the call to leave it there.
Well, I made the call to leave it there because someone alerted the bandits to our presence and therefore set the alarm off. So therefore, we had to get through as quickly as possible to eliminate the bandits. Then we could go and explore.
Because they forgot they had a ring of claiming.
Now, it's just a side thing. I didn't explode a whole building, so I think I've come out best at it so far. So
No, you just had
Oh,
to
neither
blast
did
them.
Neither did
I didn't
Dashu.
light on fire this time. I didn't do anything like that.
Neither did Dashu.
But you did get your foot pinned to the floor and a building dropped on you.
Oh yeah, I did get that.
Was it his fault?
No, the NPC actually did that to him to stop him from leaving.
Ah.
And I didn't want to leave him because I might be able to get rid of him before he gets to the other party. I was like, yeah. It was a decision going, I want to run out of the building, or I can stay in the building and take him with me. And it's like, I'll take him with me. And it didn't quite work out that way.
He had tricks.
He had tricks, eh? He played it very well. I'm going, no, I thought, well played. As long as he didn't hurt Amiko, I was okay.
You
So,
got close.
he came close, trust me, yes.
Well,
Right.
he almost one shot.
Kanju saved her.
Yeah, he took it down from 140 to 100, or 40 within one round.
Damn.
He's a barbarian, so he had all these, bam, 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 and she's going,
And then used poison.
yes.
So she got taken out by the poison.
Luckily, we kind of brought it back a little bit, but yeah.
Of course, the only reason she got hit was because someone hadn't actually worked out her AC properly.
Look, minor details. Minor details. Minor details, okay, Jerry? Minor. We wouldn't have been in this situation if we set up all the traps upstairs first and I ran away from her in the first place. But anyway, that's okay. We'll forgive it.
It's all a learning experience.
Okay, so
Get it.
Naomi, you catch up to the rest of the party, hearing this god almighty roar of collapsing building. You come outside. There is Amiko on the ground with I think it was Bug
Splat, Shayla.
and not Shaylu wasn't there. Shaylu was further away. So Bug and Splat were either side of her, tending to her while she's laying down, looking very beaten up, with an arrow sticking out of her.
Yes, the first thing that I do, I guess, will
And then you also see Sandru standing over a dead body of something that looks like it's been rather savagely beaten.
Well, Sandru looks to have that bit under control, so I will attend to Amiko, and I will do some healing. So, Does she look like she will die if I pull the arrow out?
No, it doesn't look like she'll die. She does look rather pale, though.
I will pull the arrow out.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much hit points she has.
Does pulling the arrow out do further damage?
Roll a d6.
You said that it...
Not much.
Shit! That's
That's
okay.
bad.
I've got a thing for that. I think.
On the other character you do.
No, it's this one. Breath of Life.
Okay.
She does.
But she's not dying.
Oh, she now.
Oh, would die. That's right.
Yeah. So all it does is make her pass out from the pain.
Yeah. So she's
At which
passed
point
out.
you can then stabilize her with a medicine check, and then you can or just
I
heal
don't
her.
need. I'll just heal.
Yeah.
I think I'll skip the whole stabilize and just do some heals.
And you might hear some muffles go. You kind of think it's Harori, not sure.
So I'm going to do.
Don't hear a thing. There's way too much rubble on top of you.
Pretty sure.
You can't take a breath.
Typical Nash fruit.
So Jeremy, you're currently in control of Sandrew, and
Yep.
Mark will be in control of Amiko at this stage.
Yep.
But you're currently unconscious, Mark. Again,
Me.
Both of you.
Amiko's unconscious.
Okay, so I'm doing the 2-point action,
Yep.
or the 2-action version. So it's verbal somatic. So it's because it's effectively 7th level because it's a
Okay.
automatic
Automatic heighten.
heighten. Yep.
So is that a cantrip?
No, it's a level 1, but I'm using one of my bonus cleric spell slots to remember it. So I get 4 bonus slots, and they automatically are like a level 7 because that's the current
Yep.
max I can.
Just check.
And I've got 2 harm, 2 heal. That's what I do because I've got the versatile. So I'm using one of the heals. So for each level, it's a d8 plus 8. So if we're heightening by 6, that's 7 d8s plus
7 6s.
7 8s.
7 8s.
8. I got tens.
So that's like 47, I think. 57, I think. Yeah, I believe it's 57.
Guess what?
Yeah, heal. Yeah.
That's the new cards I've got.
You finally got the advanced players guide, and you've gone and carded them all.
Oh no, I still got one to do.
Yeah, and currently I have the Lands of Barovia sound set for Curse of Strahd playing to give you some theme music. I thought you'd appreciate the mournful sort of music.
Okay, Curse's Guard, always useful.
Okay, so...
I'm bringing these every game at the moment, so it might be Pathfinder game.
That's the one
So
that
that's
meant
90
over.
HP.
90 HP, so she's now on 90.
Nice, yeah, definitely.
Okay. While doing that, Kanku will
Really.
quickly search the body of this creature that he took down.
Yep.
But also looking around for any sign of any other bandits, and also allowing the dust to settle to find out, which way people might have gone or where they might have ended up.
Okay. So, looking through the body. Actually trying to find the body.
Do you want to write this down? Do you want to write it all down, Jeremy?
Yeah, you can write it down.
Okay. I'll put it on the back. Go through so much paper on this stuff. Okay.
I mean, again, he's not technically doing a proper search of the body right now, but it's more a case of you can probably note down what's on him, assuming we can get it later.
He's got decorative leather armor made from strips of horsehide.
Horsehide. Oh, I'm glad a certain other person's not here right now, David. Yes.
A ornate shield.
Shield.
A glowing scimitar.
Oh, I know about that.
short bow.
Oh, that's the one we were able to do. Yep.
A set of keys.
Jeez, that would be handy. If we had someone to go with them. Sorry, I had to say it, Jeremy. Sorry.
Well, we don't need keys anyway.
Yeah.
And an ornate belt.
Okay, got that, Jeremy. Ooh,
Okay.
If we have time when we have rest, we might look into those.
But otherwise, he's not seeing any other evidence of enemies and or friends at the present time?
No, it seems rather quiet, except for some horses being quite loud in the stables nearby.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Stats horses.
Not surprisingly, they probably got a bit shocked by the sound of the building falling across the courtyard.
And you can see Flame looking through the rubble.
Okay, so I think as we were running through, when we went across the back hall, like effectively the back of the courtyard hallway,
Yep.
there was a doorway leading out to the courtyard from there.
There was.
Like there was effectively like if I'm looking, if I've got my back to the front gate, there was off to the left was the stables, and there was a door into the stables, but then there was a door at the back of the courtyard.
Okay, switching over to...
Oh, sorry, this now.
Yep. In fact, the other door there that's also potentially. So I'm assuming that effectively the two doors into that dead end corridor are.
So, this
Not
area
accessible?
collapsed, and
Yep.
then this area collapsed.
Yeah.
And all of that, including this area here, is all covered in rubble from where the building came down.
Okay then. And Sandrew had jumped out the window above those double doors, had he, or
He'd come out over here.
over there, was it?
So
Okay.
that it was in this area here where the fight occurred with the
Right.
with a Amico.
Yep.
And
But Nashua, so Sandrew and Nashua ended up on the upstairs.
Nashru went down this side and then out from
Well, just as far as Sandrew knows, it went down that way. So in that case, if the door into the area where, like, because I think the guy was starting to run towards the back of the courtyard when Sandrew caught up with him.
Yep.
So there's probably the door on the right nearby.
He was running south.
He was running south, was he?
Yeah, south on the map.
Okay, he was heading out the gate type stuff, was it? I'm assuming
Heading
north.
towards the gate or the river that runs out of the gate.
Okay, in that case then, Sandrew's probably closer to those double doors. Do those double doors look like they're still accessible?
The double doors are buckled outwards.
Okay.
And they don't seem to be on hinges much anymore.
Okay. Is there evidence of what's buckling it outward? Rubble and stuff?
There's bits of stone and beams protruding through various parts of the door.
Right. Okay, so there's probably not much accessibility down through there at the present time. Can you scroll the map down a little bit lower? What happens after those double doors?
That's basically where...
Okay, we haven't seen it yet. Okay,
So
he'll
river
go around
comes
the
out
corner
that
there.
way,
He'll take a look
and-
around the corner just to see if there's another access point or anything like that. So.
It's just a solid wall around that corner that leads to the gate. So where you've got this little bit here, you can see where the mouse is.
Yep.
That bit there is where water's coming through from
Yep.
over around the corner there. So
okay.
So pretty much expect it comes down and then curves around to there.
Yep.
And that's basically what that side looks like.
Okay, so there's no actual access point in through there.
How much sound can I make right now?
In our scouting, in the original scouting which Sanju and Nashru did of the external of the keep.
Yep.
Did the mountain just go on that left right hand side, like on the eastern side?
On the eastern side,
Like
to get to that valley you saw, you'd probably have to go maybe an hour or two along the mountain to double back.
Okay. We'll try the door at the top, the north door then.
Yep. Okay, so Amiko's now awake. Aomi's also able to do stuff.
Now, Amiko is a good companion. Okay. I'm looking around going, where's Harori? Because it's not being mentioned by a certain other person right now. That's okay. And I suppose Splat will just go point rocks. I think.
Splat will point at the rocks.
No, I don't want a rock Splat. And then just click go, oh, he's under the rocks. Oh, okay.
Well, if Amiko mentions where's Harori out loud as Sanju's going back past towards the north door, Sanju will mention, well, Harori and Nashru apparently are still inside somewhere. I'm trying to find a doorway that'll give us some access.
Oh, they wouldn't know that I wanted. No.
No one said what happened to you.
No. Okay, that's very cool, actually.
That door on the right, is it bowing out a bit like the double doors down below?
So the one directly above the characters
Yep.
doesn't seem to be bowing out, but...
Oh, okay, well, Sanju will definitely try that door first then, rather than going all the way to the top door.
Okay, it is unlocked and just opens quietly.
Okay.
Inside you can see rubble everywhere. You can probably go in maybe 20 or 30 feet towards where the fight was before it's too caved in to go any further.
So, you'll call out, Harori, Nashru, can you hear me?
I'll leave up to the DM to decide whether I can hear anything yet or not.
Okay, so give me a fortitude saving throw for Sanju at this stage.
Oh, okay. You keep breathing in a bit too much smoke or something? Is that the...
Oh no, one of the other dangers of the area is afflicting him at the moment.
Right, okay. Where am I? Constitution... fortitude saving throw, yep. Yeah, that's not so flash. 26.
26. Just going to make sure I've got the right value to use for you. If I can actually find it. Hazards. I'm sure they haven't changed. It's one of those things is you remember where it is and then suddenly it's not where you remember it to be. I'll have to actually web search that one because I thought I actually had it somewhere.
He just passed. It's okay. It's all clear.
Nice try. Yeah. It's worth the shot.
I'm just going to move the game along. That's all. Generous, I am.
Yes.
Okay, so what did you roll?
26. A roll of a 7 is not really a good start to the game.
Okay, so as you step in there, suddenly a cloud of yellow dust surrounds him. And you got a 26?
26, yep.
Okay, you managed to, you think you've managed to block your nose and uncover your mouth in time, as you're completely covered by yellow dust.
Well, certainly I'll be aiming to come back out of the doorway again rather than trying to get any further forward and not yelling anymore because I'm trying to block my mouth. Do I recognise the yellow dust at all?
Give me a... So what sort of knowledges does he have?
Where am I?
So make it a nature roll. Nature should be
He's got underworld law, nature.
Nature or underworld law. Either would
Well, okay, it's an 18, so hopefully I'll work on either of them. It's that's 37 nature or 39 underworld.
Okay, so you recognise it as actual yellow mold, which is a fungus. It's quite a dangerous fungus and would actually poison and drain him.
He's going to then, continuing to avoid breathing in if he can. He's going to actually kind of get down to the...
You can see that there are various glassware shattered on the ground due to the collapsing building, and you would think that it was probably contained in those jars.
Okay. At this stage, he's just going down to the that little creek line river type stuff, so he can either roll into it or at least wash the mold off his exposed skin and stuff.
Yep. So you see Nashru coming out of the room after heading in, completely covered in yellow.
That doesn't seem great.
And he's not talking about it yet because, hey, he doesn't want to actually do anything to expose himself further. He's just going straight down to the river, the creek, whatever it is.
Can I make any sort of... What can I do?
You can make lots of different things.
Now, Harori's awake, pretty much can't move at all, can he?
Yep.
Can I determine somehow how much stuff's on me? In some way, just by...
A lot.
Yeah, I thought there's not much I can do right now, is there? No.
So the problem Harori's facing is that he's actually continuously dying. and coming back and dying
I
and coming
don't
back.
die. I'm alive.
He's adding a lot of lives to his tally at the moment.
Oh no, he can't actually hit unconsciousness.
No.
So no matter how much damage he takes, he's always awake.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that he's been killed enough that he can't die anymore, huh?
Yep, he's been told he's got one death left.
I know what it is, don't worry.
Well, this is kind of the situation you might decide to use it. You can just get just one hand just free enough to seppuku. Since you're in a desperate situation where you'll never be able to get out of.
I'm sure that would never happen.
Miko's got the sword that does that, not my sword. If we follow tradition.
Okay. Was that one of the players saying they can make it? No. Okay. So, what would Ayumi and Amiko like to do now that you've seen Nashru come out completely covered head to... Not Nashru, Sandra coming out completely covered head to toe in spores.
Does he seem okay?
Well, he rushes down to a river and throws himself in it.
Well, it's okay. So can I see Harori yet? Can I see Nashru?
No. They're both missing.
As I said, Sandru mentioned that they were both in the building when it came down.
Okay.
Just before he went in the door and then rushed back out again.
Okay, so can I go and, like, investigate the rubble a bit and see, like, and I guess call out to...
Well, there's flames coming from underneath most of the rubble.
Right.
I'm sure they'll get suffocated soon enough. That won't be a danger.
Can't talk at all. Yeah. I don't think through that too.
I do. go. There was quite a lot, but the problem is once you've been here squished, it's very hard to get air back in them when you've had them squished out.
Oh, she would once. Shallow's? Yeah. What's Shallow's done?
Shaylu's not here.
So Shallow. Yeah, another one.
Miko?
No, the other one.
Naomi?
No, I'm talking about.
They're the only people.
Sandra, sorry.
They're the only people you have there, and two of them are missing.
So, once Sandra's cleaned off, and Miko, you okay, Sandra?
Okay, Sandru's, yeah, comes out.
Because Sandru's her long-term adventuring partner.
I know. You okay, Sandra? Because we're missing a few people, I think.
Yeah, as I said, Rory and Nashua were in the building when it came down. Last I saw, Nashua was upstairs but heading down chasing a couple of the bad guys, the bandits, and Rory was underneath that. Just as that big guy came out of the building to kill you, but we stopped him.
Oh, naturally, he's gonna be fine. Make you would say that. Rory's the one that worries me. You know, he always worries me.
But so I was just going to go into that door, but there's some access, but the rubble certainly filled in. But careful, because there's a whole heap of yellow mould that's been now scattered just inside that door. So
does the rubble, like, where does the door lead to? Just like
The door he was pointing to is completely buried under, one set of doors is completely buried under the rock, and he's pointing you to a bit further up where you can see the yellow mold floating out of.
okay.
I'm just going to add a extra character for tonight.
Come on, we're already using NPCs everywhere.
Yeah,
we've gained a
Wolfie. A Wolfie.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Oh, Wolfie.
Am I only the wolf?
No.
Okay. I might be.
Yeah, Sanju's also take advantage of his current wet state, and he'll get a couple cloths and wet them down as put over his mouth type stuff as a bit of protection against the spores.
Oh, is there mushroom spores?
Yep, there are
Yellow mold spores.
It's fungus spores.
Now, my character's immune to them
That's nice.
because of the beard. It's like a filter.
Good to hear.
Oh, that's just, damn it.
So you're the one going in first then?
Probably not. I have no idea what's happening.
And at this point, your character catches up to the others, having been delayed by other factors.
Yep.
And so you see Iomi with bug splat. You see
And we're kneeling by Amiko, who seems to have just sort of recovered herself.
Amigo's covered in multiple wounds. That doesn't happen very often. With a blackened arrow beside her. You see Sandru currently wetting down a rag of some sort. You don't see Horori anywhere or Nashru anywhere. But then again, it's not too difficult not to see Nashru anywhere because you're used to that.
Yeah, he's obviously a head saving the world, you know.
Oh, well, he's the person who likes to hide from everyone else, including his teammates.
Can prestidigitation do anything to
Just practice.
Sandra stuff? Because like Miko can do that for him if he wants.
What, she wants to make it flashy? She wants to dry him?
She wants to make his hair so right.
She wants to make his hair.
Right? Yeah, she would do that.
So apparently you get a quick drying, so your wet rag is now dry.
No, the hair, not the drag. Because I look at all the spells I've given her, all like manipulation spells, and no one to manipulate right now. So I was like, yeah, well that's what she uses as a bard anyway. So I was like, yeah. I've actually done Miko's level 13 sheet, and unfortunately didn't do it quick enough after last session. So,
But you said you were ready.
Are we level 13?
Yeah.
got some catching up to do. Alright, it's okay.
So, yes, and suddenly you've got a puppy on hand.
The barbarian's still next to me and Miko, or was it?
No, the barbarian is probably about 20, 30 feet away.
Okay, I'm not going to move. She wants to be surrounded by people. She doesn't want anyone near her at the moment, except for friends. So,
Barbarian?
yeah, the barbarian that Sandra killed.
Oh, like, yeah, the body.
Yeah. No, it's because she just wanted to get her whispering strike and just stab in the face a couple of times because she's really pissed off with the guy. But Miko would be like that, you know. She doesn't take lightly be smacked around a bit by a barbarian.
You are level 13.
I think I did it straight after last session. I was like, I'm so excited.
So,
And we haven't we haven't changed for a while, so...
Amigo's going, we need to find the other two soon. I said, we don't know where they are. I think we need to look around for them.
So, well, let's say Sandrew with a wet rag around his nose and mouth is seeing me take another look through the room there.
Okay.
Hey, Amico, with that pressure, can you create a bit of a breeze and just blow some of this spore out of the way?
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that well.
I've got sound birds.
Hey, Sandrew can ask.
I'm sure you can blow out his ears if you like.
That would actually possibly push him back in there.
But yes, okay. But he's okay. Covering
She's
up
not
as
that
much
sort
as
of
he can, and taking a look through the into the room,
Yep.
avoid breathing in the
Six
spores,
months over
etc. And
You know it is susceptible to fire.
Oh, really?
I guess he did.
Do I know that?
He knows that. You probably know yellow mold is susceptible to fire.
Okay.
but you've also technically there's lots of fire around already.
Okay, because
So,
I can cantrip produce flame.
yes, but the fact is that yes, you've walked into a scene of devastation where buildings have collapsed, and
Ah.
Yeah, that they blew
there's
up the
fire
building.
coming from both the collapsed areas
And it
and
wasn't
probably
a
some of
PC.
the unccollapsed areas.
I was wondering, would Splat know where Harori is? Because Splat would have...
That just points to the rocks.
I know, but Splat would have that because of the thing, yeah. Okay. Splat keeps talking to the rocks.
Splat doesn't care where Hurori is, but
Oh, Splat
knows
does.
exactly where his armor is.
Rory's is Splat. Is owned by Splat. Splat cares what he owns. Trust me. This is
Okay.
doesn't-
Splat put a lot of effort into that
Yeah, but
armor.
you've got to
He wants it
understand that
back.
just because he cares about it doesn't mean that he's necessarily opposed to its death, as you've been proven many times.
But he also knows that I probably won't die as well, so he'd be going. He'd be probably giggling to himself.
I have a random question.
Yep.
The spell Wall of Stone.
Yep. You can add more to it if you like and vary it further.
I'm just wondering if, in the way that I manipulate it, I can choose where the stone comes from.
No, because you create the stone.
You actually
You
create
don't
the stone.
you don't actually pull stone from the environment.
Because I thought it'd be really cool if I could just be like, build a wall over there.
Move Earth will allow you to do that.
Ah, I don't have
So
that one.
if you have moved Earth, you can take Earth from one location and build a wall elsewhere.
Right.
So you can do the equivalent of take a wall from the bad guys and move it in front of you, so you've got fortifications and they don't, and then you attack their city with their own fortifications.
How big are the rocks?
It is stonework from a building that has collapsed.
And
There are tiles, there is wood, there is so beams, flooring, there is stonework from the walls, from the supports, from the columns, as well as flame.
Can I
and the building was built into the side of a mountain.
Yep.
can I ask the crowd, like, are we missing anybody?
So Nasher is taking another look through the doorway. Sorry, Sancho is taking another look through the doorway.
Yep.
And yeah, so you said that you could see about 20 feet before the rubble was blocking way again.
So there was a curtain in this room that went to the area where you fought, and there's some rubble in that entryway there. The room itself, everything seems to be knocked askew. There's papers everywhere. Seems to be a lot of diagrams of the fortifications here are strewed all over the floor.
Mm-hmm. And does it look like he can get through the room past the curtain area, or is that going to be all blocked off?
It's that curtain area that's blocked off. You can go further north to where the chieftain's quarters were.
Well, okay, he might as well go that way then. Okay, looking through the areas where you can actually get through, aiming to double back to the point to see if you can get back to where the fight was.
Okay, so you walk past the big fountain area, and then basically you can go left to the shrine or right to the chieftain's quarters. And at the chieftain's quarters there will be rubble if you try to go south.
Well, he'll go to the chieftain's quarters and see how far south he can get. looking
You
down
can, you
that
can get a
pathway.
bit closer than you could from where you were, but you can sort of see into the room, and you can even see some daylight. You can see out the top of the building,
Okay.
because they basically brought the building down on that corner.
Yep. Yep. Again, he's calling out, "Hoi, Nashu!"
And none of them respond. Obviously, they don't like you that much.
I have a wolf.
You do. I've
Does
mentioned it
anybody,
multiple times.
does anybody have an item from Harori?
Westman Strike was Horizon.
Not anymore, because it's been carried for long enough that it no longer smells of Aurora.
Right, so there wouldn't be anything in the caravan or anything?
Possibly, but the caravan is left at the samurai camp.
Right.
But
But there is brews.
technically, you don't actually need something of Harori to smell. If you're just trying to get him to smell out a body that he's not the one that's there and not standing around right now, like trying to say, "Hey, can you?"
That's true. All right, can I do that?
Depending upon what you're trying to actually achieve.
I want to try and find people in the rubble.
Okay, give me a handle animal roll, and we shall see how well you can get Wolfie to do stuff.
Nashu's going to start trying to clear from the direction he's in, because, hey, that was figuring that the closest he could get, he'll yell out to the others as well to say, "Hey, I think we're getting closer on this side," but...
All right. So... Okay.
Natural one.
No, it's a 5,
Okay.
but I don't know what I add to it, but it's probably not going to be enough. What are my perception? 25.
Okay, so Wolfie looks at you and then dashes off to the rocks and starts pulling rocks away.
Okay.
And you see Splat wander over, attempting to help.
Pulling pebbles away.
I'd like to call out to the crowd in general to help me, and I'll
So they're working
So
from the
that's those two.
courtyard
That's
side?
the crowd.
Yeah.
They're working from the courtyard side, is that right?
Yeah.
I'll do
Yep.
what I can to try and help move rubble out of the way, I think.
Mika's she's a pretty banged up right now, so she's not really keen to do much at all.
So she's not that keen to say.
She's
Aurora
almost
get
on
it.
full
Does
health.
she want to talk to me? Because I could battle medicine her as I'm going.
No, she was 4, but she's back to 90 thanks to her.
That's right, she's almost on full health.
Yeah, she'd almost died 3 times last session.
Right.
That's what happens when you leave the major NPC by themselves.
Well, it's also when you give them negative armour.
Yeah, they forgot to give. They actually had a lower armor class, and she was wearing nothing.
We worked it the hard way that way.
Well, I asked if it was a hit, and he said yeah, so it happened.
So she's gonna summon her. She's got 7 instrument as a cantrip, and she's gonna play a little tune to help people out.
Hopefully not funeral music.
Yeah, it was the music. It's the Horary song. Okay, like it. Just want to find the right one.
At least it's not Diggy Diggy Hole.
Bravely bold Harori, rode forth to find...
Okay, so after about half an hour of digging from Nashru, you come across pieces of Harori's armor.
Okay. I'll call out, I'm almost with him.
Do we have
I
any
remember
luck
the
with
fact
that
that,
digging?
yeah, Sandrew's quite strong.
You guys spend about an hour to get yourself into the building because it was really that messed up. The guy ran through the wall, taking out all the supports as he went. He barbarian
Who ran through the wall?
The NPC barbarian.
The dead guy over there.
The one that stabbed me in the foot and let me stay in and then yeah.
So,
This is our lovely DM sometimes.
have they been able to hear Sandrew, or has Sandrew been able to hear them at all?
Sandrew can hear them quite easily because it's open to the air and he can call out while he's doing it.
Yeah, but they haven't paid attention at all. They continue to dig from the other side, which takes longer. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, after about the hour, you both see each other on either sides of the pile.
Well, you said it only took Sandrew half an hour to start to get the armour.
Yeah, but you're going through. You pretty much find scraps of armor here and there as you're digging through.
Have we removed all the spore stuff yet or not really?
Well, we've gone around the spores at the moment.
Okay. Can Amiko peer and see how they're going? Just have a perception check.
Sure.
Yeah. That's a 40 upgraded.
40 upgraded. Okay. She says she thinks she can see the sword.
She points in that direction. I smacked her.
Well, the sword, she's pointing that way, Splat's pointing that way.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so Amigo points towards the sword, and Splat's still pointing the other direction.
So, hang on. Can you
So
just...
you've managed to get yourself into the collapsed building. You can see Nashra on one side.
So there was
got pieces
rubble
of
that
armor.
was, like, the rubble was mostly at the entrance, and we've gotten past the rubble, and the rest of the building is intact.
This entire building was brought down, roof and all, and part of the cliff face as well.
So when you say we've managed to get through the rubble, you mean we're now into the cliff face?
You're now into the building itself, where you were outside the building. You had to clear a lot of stuff just to get into the building area.
Right, but the building is also collapsed. So
Well,
there's still
parts
more
of the building
rubble ahead
has.
of us.
Okay, Sandrew went around and came in from the northern side of the room that had collapsed, and was technically getting a lot closer at the time. So he was able to he was able to catch up with bits of Harori's armor, and
Yeah, but my point is, at the moment, is where we currently are, there is rubble on all sides, basically, right?
well, we're fighting through rubble with the belief that Harori will be in the middle of the rubble somewhere.
Which is what you'd expect, considering Harori. And then Amiko points off a little bit off to the side, saying she can see the sword, whereas Splat's pointing in a different direction.
Yeah.
So, do you want to concentrate on going to where the sword is, or where Splat's pointing?
Well, can Sandrew see the sword and or anything that Splat's pointing at from his position?
Amico.
Give me a perception roll.
Amico's had a class tongues and talks Splat.
40.
Just talk straight. Is that Harori though, or is that the sword over there? Is he together? Is he together with the sword?
He just looks at her and points in the direction he was pointing earlier.
No, my vote generally is to go do what Splat wants. That's, like, honestly, Iomi's, like, not super attached to our quest because, you know, she's not, like, super invested in the TN Empire other than the fact that, like, she's got respect for it because Harori has an investment in it and she quite likes Amiko. But generally, like, Splat's family, so if Splat wants us to go somewhere, she's going to do that.
Okay, so you start digging where Splat's heading. You can see where Splat's pointing. It seems to be where the worst of the rubble came down.
Okay. Can you see the sword at all?
And what did you get on your perception?
42 for a visual one.
You can see glints of metal in the direction that Amiko was pointing.
Can we assume that Harori is hurt?
Yeah.
So would it help for me to cast a radiating spell that would heal in like a 20-foot radius?
Quite possibly, though he may instantly take damage from rocks crushing him.
Right. Now,
You may also run into problems of line of effect or something, don't you? When you've got to actually know see your target or something.
No, because even if they're invisible, you can affect them with a radius.
Fair enough. Yep.
Told in the
Cool.
last camp, Harori takes half healing from healing spells.
Well,
So he heals himself with that code.
Sandrew's glint of metal does not necessarily mean much in this because he's come across lots of glints of metal as he's going through. So he'll keep going through forward, aiming for the larger pile of rubble, working on the idea that obviously Amiko can see the sword more easily than he can, so she can get to that side much more easily than he can.
Go for the sword, let the other guys go for Harori.
Okay. So, it takes her about half an hour, and she uncovers the sword embedded in a rock.
Embedded, like stabbed into it.
I've seen this movie.
Yeah. The rock used to be a hand.
Covered in blood.
Covered in blood. Embedded in a rock covered in blood. Oh, because he used it. Yeah. Okay, yeah. He did kill a couple of them. Has she communicated with the sword? I don't know if she has. No.
Yeah, I was spoken to the sword.
So it's the sword with Harori?
No.
And
She spent
I
half
assume
an hour
that's
digging
not
that
where
for
I
the
am.
sword. No.
I've gone after Splat.
I just keep digging.
And Poppy's also heading where Splat pointed.
Just a sword, not the helmet or anything like that? Or
Just the sword.
yeah, that's very cool. Oh, I forgot that. Yeah. She goes, he's not over here. Found his sword, though. And that's what you say.
Great.
And she goes, I don't know. She knows the sword talks to him, doesn't he? Well, she will know. Roy would have munched it at least.
Yeah, well, we all know the sword talks to him.
Okay.
Everything talks to Roy, apparently. His
Just
helmet,
put a hand
his
on-
horse,
pull-
his...
pull it out.
Sorry, I was going off cost.
Yeah, skinny mocker.
Tea?
I'll have some tea, yeah.
Skinny mocker.
Skinny mocker?
She'll just touch the hand that held the sword and saying, she knows the name of the sword, it's Roy would have said. Susan, where is he?
It is time for you to take the sword, she hears.
No. Not yet. No, where is he?
You must draw the sword.
Move the hand away.
Give me a will save.
Yep.
throw.
Your caddy has carried the sword long enough.
I knew you were going to do this. I just knew you were going to do this.
Is that good, huh?
Damn no reroll kind of things in her swing. 23 with a 20 will save.
The 20 will save.
Yeah, 23 total, so.
Okay, she grabs it tightly.
She's got to do it.
And the sword starts to glow as she pulls it out of the stone.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Okay, so, moving to the others.
I'll leave you the other. That's another thing for later.
Okay, so, takes you about half an hour and you uncovered the crushed form of Horori's arm.
Oh. Can
We're getting one of the bits of armour that I found.
Missing bits of armor that you found, yes.
Can I touch it?
Yep, it's rather flat and it starts to sort of inflate as you touch it.
Right. So does it feel like there's life in there, or?
Well, look at it this way. The fact life seems to be returning to it as you lift the rocks is
Right.
rather freaky.
Okay. Yeah.
It reminds you of what happens to trolls.
He's doing that thing again. So, all right. Well, we now know where he is. Can we put like a concerted effort to dig quick, and try and get him out?
This is you being digging quick, trying to get him out.
Do we have any conscience who knew that? Oh, we haven't seen Nashru yet, have we? No, okay, it's okay. Just let's see Nashru. The thing doesn't come up yet. So, the hand. But that's good.
Okay, so it takes you about another hour to dig out enough to actually see his face, which has that amusing swish look to it until it slowly inflates. Imagine blowing up a balloon sort of look. And then when you're actually able to use your eyes, you notice that you have this rather flat feeling looking down. All the lower half of you is completely flat and pancaked in various directions.
Oh, this is fucked up.
You're being completely conscious
Tell
the
us
entire
about it.
time, you just haven't been able to see anything.
My heart is fucked, isn't it? That's great. It's very good fun. Well. Does it make you okay? That's all I say. Whatever. Miko, it's okay.
And then it takes them all up about 3 hours to dig you out of the rubble.
Well, I'm fully out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the first thing I will be doing is Miko okay? She looks reasonably okay.
She looks okay and looking rather stunned at a sword that's glowing in a way you've never seen before.
Okay. I know I don't have to heal it now. So, I'll just...
But she does have this, scar on her side where the arrow went in. And the hole in the armor.
Well, I got no armor now. Right now. I suppose Vlad would go psh, 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 with the arm about my arm.
Splat just looks at you, mystified as to why you didn't roll into a ball.
We could have rolled you up, you know. Would have been much easier to put you on the back of a pack.
Yeah, what? I could roll the right. But,
So,
so,
yes, please.
Because that was one of the splat abilities, was to fortify yourself.
Yeah, it's cool, but if you got your sword stuck in your foot, you can't really move into a ball.
You still can, you're just stuck in that spot.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does he need to change his name to Splat?
I thought Squish. Squish would probably work, Squish and Splat. But he's been de-squished now.
When it starts to get they found Hawori, and apparently he's survived. Sandru's going to stop the digging there and start trying to look for other access points more down the side, look at the stairs that originally we went up, and or down through the double doors to the south to see if you can find any evidence of where Nashru might have ended up.
That one looks like...
Working on the idea that at least he was on the upper floor, so there might be less falling on top of him.
Well, that one was where most of the cliff face came down on, so that was the centre of the collapse.
Is Nashru squished too?
Nashru's missing as well.
Oh, can I tell Wolfie to look for Nashru now?
He just looks at you.
Is there someone else, boy? Go on, boy. Near the well. Look near the well. No, can I do a...
He heads to the well.
No, I stop and pull him back, and I...
He looks at you confused.
I was going to say, I wouldn't point it towards the well because that goes through the yellow mould.
I didn't know there was a well, so...
There are two wells.
Right.
So that was even more confusing. Go to the well.
Can I give him a treat because he did a good thing and he found?
Yep.
And can I ask him to do it again?
Okay. He goes over to Rory. And
Is
looks at you
Rory
expectantly.
still under rubble?
Red
pulled him out?
It took you about 3 hours to get him out of the rubble.
Has he been healed?
He doesn't need to be.
Yeah, he's inflating on his own.
Right.
Yep.
Because he never actually died while he was squished.
You know that meme where the inflatable
I
things
never
like...
said he died. I asked if you needed heal.
Yeah, what is your health at?
I'll find out in a second.
Inflated.
Yeah, what's your PSI?
I'm at 70 hit points now.
70?
Yeah.
Do you need any healing?
I just healed myself because I did myself. Sorry.
Excuse me, what?
He just touched himself and he's better. It's amazing what an uplifting experience that is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so I get up, I look on all the armor's fucked, isn't it?
It's all twisted and bent in odd shapes.
Why don't you just stay in those twisted bed shapes? That'd like freak people out. You get like intimidation.
A little
roll.
splat. Anything we do here?
He walks up, taps it twice, and it just seems to start twisting.
Is there any loose bits? I noticed that or not.
You hear this scraping sound, this like nails against chalkboard as little bits start crawling out of the cracks everywhere.
This is cool. Yeah. So I'm going. I just go. Oh, what's that show? Just go. Yeah. Show up and do the Iron Man thing.
Okay, the cod piece was the worst part.
Can I lean in?
Even in that show.
Sandru's going to
I'm a samurai.
climb up the wall and or the rubble to aim to effectively try and get towards the top of the pile.
Yep.
To look around to see if there's any evidence of
I'm going with
Nashru.
Sandru to try and find Nashru.
Okay, give me a perception roll from Sandru.
Where am I? 24, 35, 37 for sight.
37. You can see a plume of smoke coming across the mountain range in front of you, behind the cliff that collapsed. Just a single plume, like coming out of a perhaps tunnel.
I was going to say, the idea being that not so much a campfire on the other side of the mountain, but if there was a tunnel through the mountain, it's the fire and smoke and dust coming out of this side. Is that what you're implying?
Yeah, it was about the same amount coming out of this side, but coming up in a single stream instead of across a collapsed building.
Okay.
Therion's such a dill. He basically went, no, don't touch me, please touch me, don't touch me, please touch me. So Grace, the moment you pulled back and went to the fridge, he started reaching out for you. It's like, why did you stop? It's just adorable. So yes, you can see the plumes behind it, and it does look as if there is another exit point that reaches the rubble.
Okay, but obviously from where he is right now, that beanbolt's going over the top of the mountain and coming down again the other side. Is that right?
It does.
Or is he near the top?
Nowhere near the top. It's quite a large trip over the top. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. What he will do instead is effectively, okay, staying on top of the rubble / ex-building type stuff on the roof line. He's going to try and actually manoeuvre across to where the other guard post was.
Yep. Only takes you a little bit to reach the broken passageway and be able to step from the rubble up into the other guard post.
Okay.
Because he was raised above the collapsed area.
Yep, okay. And the idea is he's trying to get from the guard post. He'll try and go back down through the tunnel to see if that gives any access to an area inside.
The guard post actually, the tunnel to the guard post is above the level of the collapse.
Okay.
So basically, you have to climb from the collapse space into the tunnel to the guard post.
Yep, and that's the idea.
And the guard post is basically just a post sticking out the side of the mountain at the front, and and it basically came back to where it collapsed. So
yeah, well,
it's just a single tunnel.
Okay. I was imagining, presumably, it had tunnel in the same way we had the other one leading into the complex. So it was more the idea of thinking, okay, if the guard post is higher than the collapse, then the tunnel should be open for at least a little bit of it.
Okay,
and depending upon how the collapse went,
see where the guard post is there.
Oh yeah, yep.
So this is the external post. This is the internal room.
Okay.
Here is the stairs down into the area here where the double doors are. This is all collapsed. So you can basically get in there partway up the stairs and get into that area.
Right. Okay. So, but I can't go down the stairs. I can only get into up the stairs type stuff.
Yeah, because the stairs themselves are in the rubble.
Okay. Yep.
So the main so see how you got the passageway all the way through there.
Well,
they basically collapsed this entire spot here and brought down half of that building and all of this building.
Okay.
With the level above it.
Yep.
I shouldn't be injured anymore because I've been chilling out, resting at the camp. And
well, in that case, then Nashu will be pointing at the plume on the other side of the mountain and say, "Hey, there might have been a tunnel leading to the other side of this mountain, this spur in the mountain. If Nashu got out, that's the only way I can see him gone. Because I don't think that he'd stay. If he's underneath the rubble,
Sandru,
he's not like Rory and comes back from flat.
He's not under the rubble. It's not if he got out. He is fine.
Wolfie brings you a leg that looks like it's been broken off at the knee.
Good boy. Where'd you get that?
He points back to the rubble.
Does it look like Nashu's leg?
Hard to tell. It's very badly mangled and it's really bloody.
So there's no like clothing or anything.
The clothing all looks dark and stained with the blood, and burnt at the same time. So
Rory's getting these bearings right now. He goes,
Helm's missing.
And I yell the name of the angel out.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get any response?
Bugger off.
How far over the mountain? How far over the mountain is it to the other side? Is it far?
It is. You got to go up quite a lot and then down the other side, or you can spend an hour going around.
Could I do it on the back of Wolfie? Is it like kind
Wolfie
of?
would not be able to scale.
So it's not like that kind of thing.
No, but it'd be faster to go round the spur rather than over the spur.
You'd think it'd probably be about maybe 2-3 hours to climb up and over.
Right. And it's an hour round to walk. Would it be faster on the back of my wolf?
I'm assuming you're on your wolf or horses.
Ah, okay, cool.
An hour on the wolf or horses.
Rory goes to Miko.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you found Susan. Can I have it back?
She tries to hand it to you and then keeps stopping.
My precious.
Are you okay, Miko?
She doesn't look okay.
I look at all the awkward...
Can I talk to Susan if I don't have it in my hand or not?
Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and explore some of the rubble where the wolf pointed and pulled the leg from. See if I
Okay.
can figure out what was there.
You start digging out, and you're finding multiple bodies badly mangled by the rocks and burnt.
Okay.
All wearing various forms of banditry gear,
Oh, that's okay. Cool.
and
No children?
no children.
And no Nashru.
Not as far as you can tell, unless he was stealthing while wearing some of their gear.
Now, my assumption is he took them all out and moved on.
Can I just let everyone know that I'm going to scout ahead and go around to see if I can get to the other side of my wall?
So Sandra's going with you. Well, I figure leading the way in the sense of, hey, that's the only way round. That's the only option.
Yeah. So how about
You'd
you
be
guys?
expecting others would be coming.
Yeah, because you guys want to keep digging, or
No.
Okay.
I'm satisfied that this is the work of Nashru and not Nashru himself. And I am adamant that he is fine, and I want to go and meet up with him before he gets himself in more trouble.
Poppy brings a leg along with you.
that's cool. It's not dwarven, is it?
And I give a bit of a sense
Hard to tell.
I go talk to Splat as well. Splat, are those horses okay in that stable?
You can hear your name being chanted from the stables as you look.
They're okay. Gotcha. Okay. That's all I need to know. So just, do it.
Because no one else hears anything, they just hear name.
Yeah. I talk to horses.
I talk to wolves. They just don't talk back.
Now, can I get to where I saw the actual lance thing?
You could. You wander off that way while everyone else wanders away.
Well, I've got no weapon at the moment. I'm useless. Right on, honestly, I've got...
Makes no difference.
I'm carrying a dagger. Do you want my dagger?
No.
He has standards, he says.
Now, Bruce is still outside, isn't he? So we haven't opened the gates or anything like that yet, have we? No. Okay.
Why don't you just grab the weapon off the big guy?
Well, I didn't pick it up. I don't know. The big guy's dead yet. No one's told me, so...
Give me a perception roll.
Okay.
So if you're looking around for a weapon, that would be the one that's obviously lying around.
25?
25. People say, why don't you get the, someone might suggest that you look around. There's this blood smear trail leading down to the river.
Yeah, I'll go down that way.
And it seems like something got into the river. There's this trail of blood and a bit of flesh here and there caught on things.
They mentioned there's a body with... Did they say there was a body with a sword on it? Or?
Well, they did say well, no one did say there was a body with a sword with it by the time you came out. But there was no body with a sword.
Okay.
That you can see.
Did we pick up all the stuff or not?
No, you just said, what did he have?
Yes, that's right.
Apparently, you should have given a few spoke with that whispering strike.
Well, I didn't because no one...
No, it's okay, but was it Iomi planning on poking him a few times?
Oh no, it was Miko was going to...
Oh, that was a Miko, right?
And
Yes.
Miko didn't want to get anywhere near him because she doesn't like him at the moment. So not without his her brave soldier in front of her. Miko's got the sword now. She's looking for the barbarian. Did she find the barbarian?
No.
Oh. It's just there wasn't a sword around here for you could use. And Haru's going.
He disappeared
Shall I say-
sometime during your digging.
If someone's if that was a Miko commenting, I think she'd be more concerned about the fact that, hang on, there was a body here.
Yeah. There's a body with
But
a
apparently you're not the only one that gets up from death.
sword. Oh, really? He's gone in the water, has he? So I followed down to the water and just...
The water goes down to some grating that is in the bottom of the wall. Following it there, you see that the grating has been ripped apart.
Is the grating big enough for the horse to go through?
No.
So, can I open up the gate or not?
Yeah. The others have already gone out that way.
Okay, open the gate, get Bruce. Okay, Bruce. I think I found something we can use for the time being. And Miko likes a sword at the moment. And
Bruce just looks at you.
look, she's nice. I'm sure there's a reason behind it. Don't know what it is yet, and I can't talk to any. Hang on, I'm not hearing your voice. What's going on? It's like I'm
I was waiting till you finished, he said.
Oh, okay.
The usual, that stern sort of look he does.
Okay. I think I found something that we might be able to use. So I'm not sure Bruce can go to that door at the top there. And
Technically he can.
yeah. So Bruce comes with me. We find the actual.
So you spend a while getting the lance.
Get my lance.
You get the lance.
Cool. I'll explain that lance later. You could wield the horse. I now have a horse with a lance. When I pick up the lance, do I feel anything special with the lance?
It tingles,
Tingles.
but doesn't talk to you.
Okay, that's okay.
You're hearing silence for the first time in a long time in your head. Maybe you should be squished more often.
And because I had the the special apple pouch for Bruce, I got an apple out and going, thank you Bruce for waiting. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm good now.
Okay, and as you come out, you've got about 30 horses following you.
Bruce, this is... Hey guys, do you have names?
Oh no, they've been talking to each other the whole time. You've just been trying to tune it out because it's basically like a flock of geese jabbering away.
So
How far ahead are we?
You're over a half an hour ahead of him by now.
Okay, let's come on guys. We've got to catch up with the rest of the group. You guys okay to come and ride along?
Well, they're going to follow their you got.
Split. Yeah.
No, Rory.
Okay.
They're your followers.
I have now 34. Oh, what time did David?
I'd also like to think that I'm, as we're travelling, trying to sort of passively percept and watch out for things. So when we get to the other end, I'd like to think I'd notice that there's 30 horses coming behind us for no reason.
Okay, so we're over to you guys going along, so you can do your passive perception.
Great.
Unless of course you're charging ahead because you're on the wolf.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not really worried about what's coming behind you. They've got that.
Yeah, so do I need to roll for a head?
Do a perception, yes. Was it that good?
It was a 2.
Okay.
Let's see what I'll add to it, but a 2 is not going to be great, right?
It's not too bad at this level. So.
And it almost matches Sanju because he only got 28.
28 to Sandra, wow. Ooh,
He rolled a 4.
that's pretty... That's what Rory kind of rolls.
Unless it's site-based, in which case it makes it 30.
Alright, so
So it'll be 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, did Miko stay with me when I did all the stuff, or she went along with the rest of the
She
group?
went for the others.
Yeah, that's
Safety numbers.
Yes, fair enough.
She learned that lesson.
That's very cool.
I think 22.
22.
Mm.
Okay, so looking ahead, you see that there seems to be some sort of fire going in front of you.
Awesome.
You're heading towards a fire.
I'd like to slow down.
And that there are screams and shapes moving in the fires.
Like, of people burning, not creatures trying to kill me kind of thing.
Well, this is in the distance, so hard to tell. Normally things don't try to kill you from, long away.
Right.
It's probably about a mile away from you at this stage.
Better find what the...
Right.
Lance is, actually.
Okay.
Is there an indication of how big the fires are?
Well, it's in the valley and it's coming towards you.
I'd like to slow down and stop,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd like to assess what the heck that is and whether it's coming straight at me or whether I'm going to avoid it or...
So does anyone in the party have any form of spyglass or visual aid? Who's actually there?
Right there.
Well, I was going to say,
Spyglass
Sanju
visual aid.
has his goggles,
Spyglass or
magical
other
goggles,
visual
to
aid.
give him a +2 to his perception for sight-based, but they're not necessarily specifically image enhancements or stuff. So, yeah, no, he doesn't carry a spyglass normally.
So I'm happy for people to try to figure out what's going on. I'll give them advantage on perception rolls to see how well people go.
I'm not there.
Amiko's there though.
Oh, she's got a really good...
Yeah.
44 for Sandrew.
With
40. 40? I don't think I'm getting any higher than 40. Master, this is critical success. There we go.
28.
Sandrew got 44, but it wasn't upgraded.
I roll 25.
Okay, so Sandrew does pick out Nashru amongst them, and Amiko also picks out Nashru, and the fact that there seems to be some sort of fire elementals coming through the forest behind him, and a bunch of people all getting attacked by the fire elementals.
Okay.
And
Did he
basically,
look-
there's an out-of-control fire also coming towards them, and Nashru's pretty much running for his life, just staying ahead of the fire.
Do the other people also seem hostile to Nashru?
Well, they all seem to be just running because anyone who falls too far back just bursts into flames and basically gets dragged into the fire.
Right.
Okay.
And this is what you're running towards.
I haven't seen this though.
But Amiko and Nashru can then, and Sandra can now tell you in detail that a mile away that's happening. And you're not sure someone can sustainably run that far on their own feet to stay away from a fire.
We've got 30 horses, we're fine.
Yes, but Nashru doesn't.
I know.
Nashru is quick,
Honestly,
and
Nashru's dead to Haruri right now. Just put it out there.
I'm assuming that he's already used these quickened capability of his boots of speed to get away in that first minute.
How far away is this anyway?
It's a mile away.
I thought it was a last question.
I'd like to run towards Dashu on the back of the wolf as quick as I can until I get to probably 60 feet away, and I'll be able to get to Nashru before the fire, right?
Yep.
The
So
thing
he-
is, he's in between you and the fire.
So
yeah.
he is at the forefront of the fire, so occasionally trees in front of him just spontaneously catch alight. So
That's fine. I'd like to get until he's probably 20 feet in front of me, and then I'd like to cast a spell.
what spell would that be?
Hydraulic Torrent. It shoots a swirling torrent of water, manifests and goes along a straight line, battering...
Targeting Horori and sending him back
No,
into
no,
the
just
fire?
just to the right of Horori, like literally
You
just...
mean Nashru?
Nashru. Just like, if it was you, I'd be like, there.
Okay.
So I just want to like take a big chunk out of the fire and hopefully slow down the elementals, and that goes for 60 feet. And it does 86 bludgeoning damage. Not to mention the fact that it's water and hopefully they don't like it. Yeah. Do you want a saving throw and stuff, or...?
Okay, so I have no problems with that. They get saving throws because you don't make a saving throw when you cast a spell.
Yeah, it's Fortitude, I think it was on that
So,
spell.
and what's the DC?
That's... Yeah.
What's your spell
I knew I was
DC?
going to look. Yeah, it's that.
Well, you don't need to make a saving throw, but they
What
do.
you need to know is whether it's a basic...
31.
Yeah. What you need to know is whether it's a basic save, or a save that's got special conditions in the spell, and what your DC is.
Basic save, 31.
So, what is the damage?
8d12.
And
Bludgeoning. Oh!
You
what is the
have dice of
damage?
shame here
I,
if you don't have your
I
dice.
have my dice.
I forgot mine, so I have the shame dice.
That's a shame.
Yes, yes it is.
Did I see it was fire elemental with Mika?
Amika did see the fire elementals.
8d12. This is going to be fun.
I got backup plan.
I don't think
Would
I've
you
ever
like
done...
some d12s?
No, because they're shameful and I'm not going to have shame. I'll just roll
You have a
twice.
D12.
Oh, that's a d12. I'm looking for d8s. Whoops.
Okay. Does make a difference.
Whoops.
That's a d12 there.
That's a d12 there. I got 4. 4. I'll do 4 twice. That's alright.
Oh, that's good. I like this.
So... That's 13, 15, 19, and then 29, 37, 39, 43. 43 bludgeoning damage.
And then triple it.
132.
129. Oh yeah.
132.
129.
You said.
Oh, 43. Yeah,
129.
129. Sorry, yes.
Okay. So, Nashru, you see this big swirling bit of water go right beside you. You get this cooling effect as you see the wolf almost run you down, but stop, and then Hadouken sort of throw of water beside you. And behind you, you hear this Faye scream in the fire.
Did I do good?
As there's this boom, and everything behind you just collapses. You both get to make reflex saving throws.
Okay. Can I just clarify? You're recording, right? Because I did good. This is
Well,
what happened.
the
Well, no.
question the question I do have for you though is how fast is the wolf?
Quite fast.
He's large now too, isn't he?
Yeah. 40 feet.
Because Nasru's faster on foot,
Yeah.
and he was only just outrunning the flame.
Yeah, but I just blew a whole bunch of it away, so I'm fine.
He's a druid. He doesn't think these things through.
Oh!
Natural 20.
Off your save.
Yes, I did. I rolled
So,
20.
Jeremy, what's your
So you
reflex
still
save?
need to give them
Nasru
Oh.
is when I
get the total and say
36.
Reflex, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yep.
So, good. You can tell I'm good at this. Skills. Nope. About. Okay, so that's 38 upgraded?
Yep, 38 upgraded. And what's the wolf's?
Do I have to roll for the wolf or add the...
Yeah, you roll for the
He gets his own.
Yeah, 'cause he's not silly
actually,
enough.
Not too bad. 38, not upgraded.
Okay, so all three of you are buffeted by a big sonic torrent as the scream of whatever it is you hit explodes around you. You see trees get thrown out of the ground, and then silence.
Hi, Nasher, how are you?
I'm guessing that there's not much left of any bandits or anything like that also running.
There are bits of bandits flying by you, embedding themselves into the ground, but
I am going to run to Nashville.
I'm just gonna, like, buff my armor, like, just here.
get the bits
Yeah.
of flesh off
Yeah,
and sort and
yeah.
whatever else was there.
If I see, like, a workable scalp fly past, can I possibly keep it aside to try and
You can try.
do some magic later?
Animate scalp.
I don't know, I'll work something out. Alright, so is the fire still coming, or has that stopped it?
The fire is sort of crackling here and there, but doesn't seem to be coming the way it was before.
So we wouldn't be in danger to stay there for a few minutes while these guys caught up?
You could probably stay for a few minutes, but you wouldn't want to stay for
Hang on.
more than an hour.
The people that were running as well away.
They don't seem to be running anymore.
Can Miko roll a perception check on this now? Because Miko's watching this going, here we go again.
I'm just getting this image of, like, this little dwarf and a wolf, and then just like...
38 on perception with Miko.
She can't see anything moving besides these three.
She sighs, but she's expected it for you now, so she don't understand. I said, oh, well, Lisa's better than her, Rory. She's thinking, yeah.
When I reach Nashru, I will be like very pale and worried and be like, you okay, you okay? And like touching him and feeling his forehead with the back of my head.
He's
and
covered
stuff.
in dirt. He's got cuts everywhere.
So hang on. What you say? This actually, yeah. So when the water went off, and obviously there was a big boom and a big buffet and things like that, Nasru got blown aside, did a couple tumbles, rolled, standing up on his feet, and was saying, "Keep moving, guys. I think we got this area clear."
Does he need any healing?
Well, right now he's running.
Oh, well, and we stop. Are we still running?
Yeah,
Well,
he wants to get out of here because
Oh.
he doesn't like being here.
Well, where do you want to go?
Well, he's running.
Anywhere
that's-
but here is apparently the answer.
I will follow him quite happily.
But yeah, my point is I'm going to run like up to Nashru and try and stop him and like check his forehead and stuff and...
Apparently, you have been mummed.
Well, that depends. That depends. Like, is he actually okay?
He looks a little wild. He's having trouble hearing you, and he seems to be covered in more cuts and bruises and marks than you've ever seen.
But
in
they
your
all look
entire
kind
life.
of flesh woundy and like he's not going to die anytime soon.
Nothing looks like it will kill him, but they all look nasty.
She immediately starts scolding him and telling him he was such an idiot and what a stupid dickhead and stuff like that, and she's going to like make him sit down for a minute.
Can I just walk behind slowly and just battle medicine on him? And just do a heal?
Well, battle medicine would be you actually spend some time. You pull out your kit and then you...
Well,
okay, what's the lay on hand or... I'll bring up the
Okay,
spell.
yeah. Battle medicine is one
an
you can do
action,
in a round.
but it is basically you're still doing the equivalent. You've got to have your
Actually,
medicine
can you
kit
do
out in your
battle
hand.
medicine when you're not in combat?
Yes.
Oh,
But you
can
could. But
But it means you can't do it again for the next 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
It is sort of it wastes the
I've
benefit
got
of
the lay on hands, but I'm not there yet. So.
I
I've
mean,
got
I can-
heal.
I've got heal as well, but like, if you, because at the moment I'm lecturing, so if you come up and
yeah.
heal him while I'm lecturing,
The work we go with my study talks.
And then you hear the sound of horses coming.
because you've also got treat wounds as well.
Can I just treat wounds?
You can treat wounds, yes. You hear a whole bunch of horses come rushing in at that point.
I turn around ready to blow away another group because I'm mad with power.
Then you see Rory with a lance in his hand.
All right,
You see a glowing lance with the tip of it shining with a light so bright it's blinding.
So
I'm too
Hey.
focused on Nasher at the moment,
Do it now.
telling him
Just
what
for
an
Rory.
idiot he's been.
See Nashra yet. Rory?
Yeah.
Give me a perception roll.
Okay, because Rory's got words to have with a certain person. That's not too bad. He's alright. He's safe. 23.
23. You do see him and pick him out. He is fairly easy to see amongst the others.
And while I've got hold of him, and I'm berating him, I'm going to cast status on him.
Okay, he's currently deaf.
Which is why I was quite happy to listen to you break him.
Now, you...
I trail off and then just like
Now,
punch him in the chest, but like lightly.
well, because he can't hear at the moment, it's okay. Pearl's no teen at the moment because there's a lot of swear words come from Rory in direction of Nashra right now.
Okay, so you see a lot of people mouthing at you. You're hearing this hum at the moment, which you've heard since the explosion.
And okay, Nasru's just yelling out, yeah, the air is clear about the castle. And obviously he's yelling very loudly. He's doing this because he's trying to hear himself.
Give me a fortitude save for Nashru.
Well, it might come back eventually. Where am I? Fortitude, 37.
Okay, you have this really uncomfortable popping feeling in the side of your head, and then suddenly you get this squealing noise, and you hear everything as if you're underwater.
Okay.
So will I have 10 minutes to cast treat wounds? Do we think?
You might do, depends on if Rory gets there first.
And basically you can see that there's a lot of smoke filling in the belly that you're in.
All right, I think we could still do 10 minutes because you're half an hour behind us.
What happened now?
Yeah, you were.
He was also on a bunch of horses.
Oh,
and
yeah.
caught up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And they go a bit faster than Wolf does.
Yeah,
and
fair
Bruce,
enough.
Bruce has the horse speed thing, so he's as soon as he sees Nashru, he gumps towards Nashru, and I'll
Berate him.
I get there. I said, Bruce, leave this to me, because I explained to Bruce the whole way what happened with me.
And he says, as you wish.
Okay, so I got the lance on the floor, get over to Nashru, whack him one across the jaw, saying,
Give me an attack roll.
"Oh,
I will try and stop you doing that.
right, well, no, that's a unarmed attack, isn't it? Yeah. That's what we're looking at now.
So what happens if I'm trying to get in the way? It's my
Initiative.
AC.
You both get initiative.
Oh,
And whoever goes first gets to decide what they're doing.
so I think my initiative's 12.
Or 25.
So yes,
Hang on, is initiative plus proficiency?
plus perception.
Perception.
Oh,
Yeah,
plus
perception.
perception.
So you might still be.
Oh, okay. So hang on then. I'll tell you. So 10. So 23. So no, he still goes first. Hang on. 21 and 10 is 31, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 33.
33. Okay, so yes, you do see him coming towards Nashru with that look of I'm going to punch him sort of look.
I will.
Okay. Nashru's on 38. He hasn't been stopping.
So yes, so
Yes.
basically as you come rushing him, he just rushes right past you.
Yelling came. Yeah, this is clear. Get the other.
And he rushes past your lance that you put in the ground and your horse.
So are you trying to like push me over?
He ran around your
Okay. Okay.
Because I did sort of get in your way and cast status on you. So technically I'm in front of you.
Does she get a grapple of opportunity?
Does she have attack of opportunity?
No, I don't.
Not everyone does.
Oh, that's right, Pathfinder. Yeah.
Do I?
So I assume that
Do you?
after
Is
the
it on
like
your
2
thing?
seconds that I stopped you and got in your way, you're now
Okay.
pushing me aside.
Nashru stopped momentarily.
let you do stuff, and then he
looking
wants
to
to
make
head
sure
off.
you guys are okay, and then he's saying, yeah, keep moving.
Right.
Very loudly.
Grapples. Yes, that's
Here's
athletics.
a athletics check against his acrobatics check.
Oh shit.
And so, is that your action? You keep running?
Okay, yeah, Nashville's aiming to keep moving.
Oh, okay.
He's working on the idea of, yep, good.
So how
Having done
much-
the assessment,
how,
everyone's there.
how far do you move in a turn?
He's got a base movement of 45.
Yeah. So you're like 45 feet away now.
So could you give me a acrobatics check against the Harori try to
Grapple.
tackle you check?
Well,
Okay.
I was gonna grab Harori and yell at him. Because I go
He's got
before
the
him.
re-
Oh
he's
no,
got
he
the
still goes
reaction.
before me, doesn't
But
he?
he's also got the reaction. So he can do it while Nashri's walking past him.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because he's got AL.
39 on acrobatics.
I missed him.
So you see this, and he just walks right past.
Can I just shake my head and jump back on my wolf?
Yep.
Alright.
And Wolf just shakes his head too.
Yep.
So does he fall?
No, he just doesn't.
Misses.
He's like,
I will. I'm going to run up to Rory and kick him in the shin, and
Okay.
then I'm going to, like, start following Nashri back to Sandra.
Okay, could you give me a fortitude save, please?
Apparently, Splat doesn't like you kick him in the shins.
35.
You roll up into a ball.
I was automatic as well.
Splat taught you well.
There are some kinks in the armor since it got crushed.
That's amazing.
Bruce, can you go get him? We need to have a talk to him. We need to have a get it out of our system. Nashri has no idea what happened to me yet, so... Yeah.
So as soon as he does, I laugh and I keep going.
My boots of speed don't work on the wolf, do they?
No, they're boots of speed, not poor things of speed. He'd need 4 of them, not 2.
Can I activate my boots of speed while in armadillo mode?
Well, don't magic boots raise it? Yeah.
Does he
No, but you
fall
can use
so good?
you can use Sonic roll effect, Sonic the Hedgehog type effect.
As long as you collect the rings on the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I know you're really bad with that one, but I just thought, nah, I'm like, no.
Like, I've got my dwarven thrower, right?
Yeah.
I sit and think about using it like a croquet mallet. I don't do it, but I just think about it.
You mean I don't have to get you to make a will save on that one?
Yeah, are you influenced by Splat at all? You might provide some influence one way or the other.
So are Miko and Sandra and that also running now? Back
They're
the
all-
other way?
And then you see Splat go tap tap on the side of the thing, and
Spat! Wrong timing, sorry.
he just looks at you and
You know what he did, come on. Don't give me that look, Splat. He deserves everything you got.
Splat looks back at you, taps you on again, and
Is Nashri within
Don't take his
earshot?
side, Splat. I keep saying, don't take his side.
Is Nashri within earshot of me?
Well,
Depends.
That's how loud you're yelling.
Yeah.
I wanna
Don't
yell,
forget
I
his
want-
hearing's limited.
Yeah, I want to yell out, "You're welcome!"
and then about a minute later, tink tink. You see everyone's going off, and you see this bird flying off,
At least that, really.
and you can see Bruce just looking at you with his head on the other side. Yeah.
Better hope
And then
he
there were 30 horses behind him, all staring down at you.
Okay, we're going to pick up my lance, go back, and go. It's 2.5 points from whatever.
Better hope he doesn't do that when you're like on a hill or something. Hey?
Oh no, he's right. The arm has been damaged, so it could have anything happen. Like Iron Man armor. Bam, 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 bam across, Man, I'm still looking at Amiko with a sword now, because I'm sitting there going, why can't you give it back? It hasn't nothing's true to me on that one now, so I haven't done any sort of roll yet on that one, so.
Okay, so how far do you lead them, Jeremy, before Nashru is willing to stop?
Well, okay. Next we're probably going to run for maybe another 10 minutes or so type stuff, just to, hey.
Make sure the
okay.
flame's not following.
Yep. Apparently, yes, having woken up in the dark or coughing and spluttering or things like that. And then, yes, in somewhat of a nightmare situation, it looks like the nightmare's over.
But you were saved by a dwarf.
From Nasru's memory, you were dragged out of the hole you got buried in by these guys who then figured out you weren't the person that they thought you were, at which point a pitched battle ensued in which at the same time the forest you were in caught alight with some Fae getting angry with everyone or fighting in their sacred grove. And then, crap went worse to worse as no one knew who was fighting who as the smoke started pouring up. At which point you figured out it was time to leave.
That was a perfect situation for Nashville because he was pretty confident that anybody he met was a bad guy. They had to worry about who they were fighting.
And basically, it turned almost an everyone on everyone situation where the bandits were actually fighting each other as well.
Actually, Nashville would be quite happy to set that up.
Well, they sort of went crazy with some sort of enchantment.
And then everyone exploded.
Yeah, and then everything exploded. But luckily for him, he'd already lost most of his hearing by that stage. So that's what you caught up, Jeremy?
So basically, Okay, so I'm assuming we're probably about effectively 3/4 to an hour back from the gate now, away from the gate on the hour, an hour round, and we've just run back about 15 minutes or so.
And with 30 extra horses in tow.
Right, so it was a nice clear pathway to follow on the way back.
Yep.
Why don't you guys jump on horses?
Because Nashu's faster than a horse, he believes. Well, he's faster than a wolf. And you have to go at wolf speed if that's the slowest.
Is it 40 even with him being a large creature?
The app says so.
Wow.
Okay, the basic riding horse is 40.
Yeah.
So I go up to 70 with Bruce at the moment because he's got boots of speed. He's got horseshoes of speed. Plus he's a savage animal. He's got extra speed and all that kind of stuff now.
I'm a savage companion.
But certainly, yes, if things have calmed down enough, Nashru's happy to jump on the back of like a double deck with Sanju or someone like that, or if there's a spare horse available.
No,
There's 30 spare horses.
All the horses reject you, and advice from Heroi.
I'm just checking.
Well, that's good. Nashru, no, because you talked to the horses after Nashru had already gone past, so...
No, he's an incredible companion.
But look it up on the book, because I think you get some bonuses with that. So.
Each thing gives bonuses, and his app should have it already in there.
Yeah, should do.
So yes, you can see the smoke coming up from the valley where you almost got caught.
As we started to slow down then and potentially group up again, if Nashru's hearing somewhat back again, he's got the water rushing in his ears still, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Looking back, does it look like the fire is picking up again?
It looks like it's just little spot fires that may or may not go for another couple of hours or put themselves out.
What time of year is it? Are we expecting
You wouldn't expect it to go much further than it is, no matter how harsh it burns, because it's a small little valley.
Yeah,
but you'll have burnt out most of the valley.
Yeah. Okay. So Nash's going to say, well, cleared out all the bandits that got away on this side. Have you guys dealt with everything in the castle?
Heroi speaks up. He says, well, they had to pull me out of the rubble. I was a flat pancake. Something exploded inside and I got covered in the whole building.
Yes. The bandits decided to blow the building up.
Yeah. Almost killing Amiko at the same time.
Alright, well, they killed them all. They killed a lot of themselves, I can tell you that.
Uh-huh. Just be careful next time, please. And in the nicest kind of, I really still want to punch you kind of mode, but I'm doing this for Amiko kind of feel. So, it's like,
Careful.
And you probably...
We had to get them all before they escaped.
You might notice that...
We came here to kill the bandits.
Well, he hasn't noticed that. He wouldn't have noticed it, hasn't he?
Notice what?
He's got what? No? Okay, cool. I'll let him find out himself. Yeah.
Okay. Were there any bandits left at the castle?
There was
And obviously we got most of them when the building came down top of them, but considering the primary purpose to visit was to kill the bandits.
One escaped, I believe. And I think it was the guy that almost killed Amiko. The guy that almost got me killed too. Don't know where he is right now. And that's all.
Well, do we know which way he went?
He went out through the grate of the water, in the water little river.
Went by river.
Went by river. I thought he was... I was of the opinion I got told he was dead, and when I went to go see his body, he was not there anymore. So not sure what happened.
Sandra will point out, hang on, you're talking the big guy at the end?
Yeah. He's alive still, supposedly.
He was definitely dead.
Well, he's no body, and... when
So you're suggesting that someone came along and dragged the body away?
I think he dragged himself away, possibly. We don't know. It could be somebody else. I don't know.
Yeah.
They were in. They spent a bit of time looking for me under lots of rubble. So.
Yes, I know we did.
Well, you went. Oh, you weren't there. You were
No, Sandra was there. Sandra's one
Sandra's-
talking about the dead,
yeah.
the big guy, because
Yeah, I know.
naturally never saw him.
That's right.
So, well, maybe we can when we get back, we might be able to pick up the trail.
Possibly. Is there anything else? Did we check the whole place out, or we missed any place so far?
Well, from what everyone who's had a look has seen, they saw no shrine except no special place except for that shrine where you got the lance from. So you didn't find any sword.
Nashua? No. Nashua's the only person that saw the other thing, didn't he? Which he hasn't told anyone yet. So.
He hasn't told anyone yet, and it was not something he was necessarily thinking about at the time, so it might take a little bit of time for it to come back with the idea of sort of thing. So,
Okay. I'll go to Domingo again, going. You sure you don't want me to have the sword again?
He tries to hand it to you and then just stops and doesn't.
Can I touch the sword while she holds it?
You can try.
I'm gonna try.
You touch it, you get this burning sensation. Your hand basically gets burnt by touching the sword. And blackens.
you're not worthy.
Can we go do a bardic knowledge roll?
You can. She can do many rolls.
The bardic knowledge means she chooses. She knows everything. So it's a thing. Now I'm going to guess what the value would be. She would have it in master level at least. So 32.
32.
She wants trying to work out why she can't get rid of the sword.
It is savage.
She thinks the sword has claimed her.
She asked the sword, why can't I give back to my champion?
Because you are the one who must wield it.
The sword already explained to her. Your caddy's carried it long enough.
No, she doesn't. I don't think they've explained it to her. So, it's going to... So... Wouldn't it be best for him to protect me with the sword and give it to me later on?
He has carried it long enough.
It's time for you to shine.
But can I give it back to him?
You cannot leave without the sword.
She's a strong-willed person. I'm trying to what she can...
If you give up the sword now, you give up all claim to the throne.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be interesting with her right now, isn't it?
That's what it tells her.
I think it stays at 40.
Yes.
Well,
She's obviously choosing to abdicate if she gives up the sword.
so... And she's even still talks the sword in her mind. So what's the use of Rory then?
He can still protect you. And teach you.
teach you. And teach me. Harori. You talk about Harori here, she says.
Exactly.
There is a side for the sword.
He can teach me how to wash dishes. I don't need that exam book anymore, do I?
There are more things to learn than what she already knows. That tells her.
I still feel uncomfortable with not having the sword. He does wield it so well, though. He wields you so well. I understand what you're saying, but
It is time.
this time. Okay. Okay, I've got to work out how to... I've got no other weapons except for bow right now, so... I'm not going to be going any combat soon.
Rory's going...
Um,
Rory's
so,
now stumped.
Harori's going... Oh, she goes to Harori, says, Harori, I've been told it's my time now. If we find another weapon for you, we'll let you know. But at the moment, I've been told I cannot let you go so soon. And Harori goes, no, God, you're so soon. He's very upset to get a tear in his eye. So, okay. I'll protect you somehow. Don't know how yet, but I'll protect you. So, okay, that's that bit done. I just thought I'd ask to see if we could do anything about it. I know how big the will save is, don't worry. And Harori couldn't get out of it, but Amiko could definitely, maybe. She had to roll a natural 20 almost there.
And then a bird lands on your shoulder.
A bird. Splat.
This one's got golden eyes.
A bird. Harori's shoulder. I speak the angel's name. Does it nod?
It says it thought you knew better than to stand inside a building while it collapsed.
At least I can talk to you now. I see. It says, and I said, do you want to stay as a bird or am I on the helmet again?
I don't know, I quite like having you inside me, it says. Helmet.
Okay. So I have my helmet back and the sword doesn't want me anymore, so we can talk together. You, me, and Bruce, okay?
Oh, now you're willing to talk to me. You haven't got someone else to talk to now, so now you're willing to chat.
Yeah. Well, I said, so I was like, I'm going, I don't have as many voices, so I feel a little bit better, but it's like, I'm looking for any weapon asset for a lance at the moment that, like just like a sword or some sort that might be lying around that we find that the barbarians might have had.
I pull out a dagger.
Your clan dagger?
I just ignore.
Is that your clan dagger?
No, it's just a dagger that
I ignore the dagger. I want a sword.
There's plenty of swords on the caravan or back at the Ronin camp.
Well, I think we might need it sooner than that if the barbarian chieftain has left us. Otherwise, I've got no way of protecting Amiko right now. She might be able to protect herself, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
Actually, Sandra was just about to say, hey, consider the state he was in, he won't be any battle to fight, any shape to fight. But then he looks at Harori and thinks, maybe.
So I'm looking for any like just a sword or a mace or something that I can just wield bigger than a dagger, because I think a dagger's insulting for a samurai.
Okay,
Oh.
so
I'll actually have my other hammer. I've got a warhammer.
So
you can always go back to the armory.
Are we back at the
Yeah, back at the
bandits camp area, the citadel?
Yeah, you make your way back to the
Okay.
citadel.
I'll go back to the armory, see if I find anything in there. So
That was just
Sandru
their lance armory.
and
Because apparently they had an armory just for lances.
yeah, I know. So
Sandru and Nashru are going to look around the area where this body apparently disappeared
Yep.
and see if they can work out A, where it got to, and B, whether it did get up off its own accord or whether it was being dragged.
Okay, do you have tracking?
There's Nashru is an expert at survival. Sandru's trained in survival. So
Tracking is survival?
tracking comes under survival.
yeah, it's a survival skill that I've got it on my
Expert, like, so they talk about sample track tasks.
and you get special tracking feat as well.
I'm also an experienced tracker.
Yep. What's your survival skill? You
Yes.
expert or master?
Expert.
Expert.
What do you mean
Okay.
by you're an experienced
I actually have the skill called experienced tracker. So
Oh, okay, great. It's
Is it a skill or feat?
the feat.
It's a
So-
skill. So tracking is second nature. You can track while moving at full speed by taking a -5 to your survival check. If you're a master, you don't take the -5 survival.
Yeah. So,
So
If
Uh,
you need to track and run, you can.
but
Yes.
at this stage, at least, we're just trying to find out, okay, A, whether it got up by itself, or B, whether it was dragged.
Okay, so I would recommend either so both Dimly and Nashru do the roll because Sandru wouldn't
Okay.
pick up as much.
Okay, yep.
And I'm teaching Amiko how to use this.
13.
She can move on, by the way.
Where my survival? 34 for Nashru.
and 39. For,
Okay, so between the two of you looking, you keep pointing out different things the other one doesn't notice, and you realise that a person basically dragged themselves mostly to the river, and they seem to get more mobility the closer they got to the river,
Great.
Mm-hmm.
and that they seem to pull apart the bars because there's still blood on the bars.
Okay.
The river goes through bars at the bottom of the wall, so think Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
And someone with a lot of strength pulled those bars apart.
The hunt is afoot.
Can we see any evidence that they got out of the river on the other side of the bars, or they seemingly still followed the river?
They may have
Stayed
followed
in
the
the
river
river.
for a time, it's hard to tell. There's nothing on the banks here at the
There's
side.
nothing, yeah.
You'd have to then follow off down the river.
Well, I'm game.
I'm staying next to Amiko. That's all I say.
I'm still pouting and glaring at Nasher.
Who's gone off and going off and doing stuff?
I'm just glaring at him.
I'll follow. So is Nashru going down the river?
Well, okay, having worked out that, well, apparently he got away by himself, and that he was getting stronger when he got approached the river. Possibly the river was going to be a source of strength or something, and obviously he was strong enough to pull apart bars by the time he was in the river. Nashville suggests that, hang on, it looks like he's got away. We can keep following, but have we finished everything, found everything in the Rona, in the castle?
I don't know. You went around more than us.
I'm gonna look around and be like, weren't we after a sword?
Well, we still got to fulfill the prophecy that Miko's got to do as part of our promise to the samurai. Did we find any entrance to this place that they mentioned?
What prophecy, stick boy?
I'm gonna like sort of generally say pretty loudly to the group as a whole, like, weren't we after a sword thing?
Okay, then Nashville is looking and say, well, how much of the area is collapsed?
Yeah, but
There was a
He
bit of
hasn't
a...
seen- he's
There was
very
part of the
hasn't
complex up towards the north that we didn't go through properly yet.
Did we find the sword?
no.
That's
No.
not the sword depicted. Okay. Then I guess we look for a sword.
Okay, let's look
But,
around.
but yeah, so Nashville's saying that there was an area to the north that we didn't
Nasher
look through yet.
blatantly said no, we didn't find the sword. Is that right? Is that what just happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nashville said there's an area to the complex to the north that we haven't looked at yet.
Yep.
Is that because we haven't found the sword? I'm really clueless. I don't know what's going on.
Hurori said.
So if you guys
Hurori
haven't
jumped in and
looked
said
through
no,
that
we haven't
area-
found it.
So if you guys haven't looked through that area, then A, we've got to go and check to see whether or not there's any bandits left there. And B, it may be an area to explore still where the sword may still exist.
Well, you better lead the way.
Otherwise, it looks like there's a lot of digging involved.
Well, I think we clear out where we could get to, and then maybe work out whether we shouldn't clear out any more after that.
In which case then, so Nashru will lead back up towards the door in the north leading to the shrine,
Yep.
and then move off to the eastern side,
Where the
towards where the bedroom quarters were that he
Yep.
saw. which apparently were not in rubble at the present time.
It's not in
According
rubble at
to
the moment.
Sandrew, not that Nash's looked at or talked to him for that. So, and yeah, suggests that now there's no one around, we can actually examine the rooms more carefully, because there's also the storeroom that we went past. So,
Isn't that all under rubble now?
No,
No.
that stuff was around the outside of a big open courtyard, and one side of it was collapsed.
Oh, I see.
we came in the other side,
So
and the
that-
point, what from Nash's
Nashry was all the
perspective,
place
was
that we didn't go in ourselves, kind of thing. It was more him just checking out things, make sure no one's there.
that's right. It was, we rushed through because an alarm had been sent off, so we wanted to actually catch up to the bandits within minutes, rather than actually stopping to explore
So
every step of the
where
way.
did you get a chance to explore before that happened?
Sorry.
Where did you get a chance to explore before that happened? Have you
As I
explored
said,
anywhere here?
Nashru was able, as we were running around,
I'm asking
he noted,
Nashru. I'm asking Nashru
So
in
this is
character.
so Jeremy has somewhere to look and compare.
that's right. He noted the fact that there was an area to the north, off where the pathway, the passage to the east there going off. So, I think he saw. Remember there's a bit of a room or something in there that he saw was a bedroom, but there was no one in there. So, he heard people to the south. So that's when we kept going south.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going back up through that shrine area, off to the east,
So on
to
this picture
properly
we're looking
explore
at, which part is
the
that?
area up there.
So basically, from if you do a line across that way, all that way south is rubble. So
Isn't that east?
sorry.
Well, that's the eastern side, but he's saying south of that.
South of that is rubble. So
Oh, I
you can
see.
get into the
That's where Harold
room
was around
here,
there.
but there's a collapsed area right here. This entire section and this entire section is collapsed.
Oh, I see. Yep. Okay.
But yeah, so Nashru's gone for the door into the shrine
Because
and headed off into the corridor.
right there is where he found the yellow mold.
Yeah,
And a lot
but
of
we're going in
paperwork.
the other door.
Right. So you're going in the door above at the top.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where I went in to get the lands. That we
So the
saw.
shrine was in there.
Yep.
And this was a storehouse with slave cages. The
And some
stable that's
other-
now currently empty.
Some other group, like mostly store things. So it'll be a place to look at if there's nothing down this other eastern passage.
Okay, I'll stick with me. I'll go. Bruce and I will talk to the horses, saying, "Can you just keep an eye out for things and just neigh very loudly if you hear anything inside." Outside, coming in.
The horses just say, wouldn't they just say alarm?
Yeah, just say alarm. Yeah. Sorry.
I wasn't here
Nashru's
before.
quietly muttering about the fact that who the hell brought a bloody 30 horses to and fro? How are we going to find any tracks down the river now?
So I wasn't here last time. However, I'm finding it interesting that Nashru is avoiding certain parts of questions. Could I roll a perception on this?
Sure.
Perception goes inside, I think.
Or insight, which would be
Perception replaces insight
Yeah.
from D&D.
that'll be 30.
So,
So what questions are you thinking Nashru's avoiding?
Just about, where are we looking and how do we know that we've searched the areas at the top and things? Because Nashru's been very much, let's go, and not... I feel like he's rushing us, and I'm wondering what I've missed.
Okay.
And I think Nashru's a sneaky bastard at the best of times, so...
Okay, well, let's go. In this situation, Nashru is not trying to hide anything at all.
What do you mean in this situation?
normally he does.
You're saying the fact that he's normally a sneaky bastard, and I'm not denying that in the situation at all. But okay. As a player, I'm telling you that Nashru is not hiding anything in this situation.
Fair enough.
What you've missed as part of the process in leading up to this was the fact that, okay, we came in down that corridor on the western side, alarm went off, so then basically he led the party in the space of a few minutes, running around the outskirts of the citadel, trying to find where the bandits were, before they were able to actually hole up and fortify their position after the alarm went off. So we've been through all that area at the top, but only a glance. Well, in case of Nashru's situation, a glance, no bandits, move on.
Yep, pretty much.
Now he's suggesting, okay,
Mortar
the whole eastern side is all
Didn't you
collapsed.
find a sword?
That's going to be hard to look through.
He found it.
Let's
He said
look
it
at the
was
northern
quite
area
close.
properly, and we'll see what we can
Oh,
find.
okay. So you as a player don't even know that you've found the sword. Right.
Nashu remembers there was a spot at the top there that he didn't look at all.
Yeah.
He went behind the screen and saw a closing compartment and didn't duck through.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So
So-
yeah. So Nashu as a player, like as a character, Nashu actually doesn't know for sure that that's where the sword is. He's just
No,
like,
not at all.
we
Like
haven't
he's
looked
just
at that.
thinking it's an area where, hey, there was a nice luxurious bedroom up there.
Yeah,
If
so
someone
it's
was
worth
keeping a
investigating.
good sword,
Yeah.
that would be the location I'd look.
So Nashu's giving me a straight answer.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's
well,
worse.
No, I'll rephrase that.
Well, he did take a blow to the head.
This is true.
Nashu's giving you a straight answer in as much as he's barely stopping to talk. Because he is still rushing, yes.
Fair enough. All right, well, I'll go with him.
Okay, so heading into the room, you find a dire wolf pelt on the floor here.
Ooh,
Aw.
can I look at the pelt?
You mean it's another flat thing?
Yep.
Because I like wolf pelts.
Even got the
I'm
head still attached to
surprised
it.
at you.
No, because I could wear it. It's like honoring his strength. Arturius does understand. He'll think it's great.
He
He'll
could
think
turn
I'm a
into a
wolf.
cloak and the skull will cover his
Yeah.
bare scalp.
Can I look at it? Is it
Yeah.
nice?
It is very nice. It is expensive.
Can I take it?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's mine.
Any decent one-handed weapon I'll pick up on the way. I don't care what it is.
I hold out a dagger.
I say a decent. And
You find a small silver jug,
keep going. Till I see. I just
a
think.
golden plaque.
Keep going.
A cloak of white fox fur.
I've got my crossbow out, and my longbow out, and that's all I've got at the
Are
moment.
you walking around the room like this? Like checking from one spot to the next?
If I see it, I'm not.
I walk to the other side of you and hold out the...
I want Bruce to kick him in the head. But it's like
But Bruce is outside.
Bruce is outside talking to the other horses, talking about how good Harori is and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Whoops. And I've run out of apples to give the horses right now too. So. It's only
What
three.
sort of size is the cloak?
The cloak is a nice floor-length cloak for a medium-sized person.
Can I have it? Because
Well-
it looks warm.
It does look very warm. You take it, it's really soft.
Yeah. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah. I'm just kind of got my longbow out and just looking around and protecting Amiko, looking, staying at the back of the party. So I'll let everybody else go forward and I'll stay at the
Okay.
back.
You also see
Rory?
Yeah.
a folding screen decorated with animal silhouettes.
If you went
By-
past,
But what obviously looks like some sort of craft master.
Sorry, Jeremy.
So basically one of those screens you can change behind.
I was going to say, apparently there were a number of dead bodies of bandits under the rubble.
Yeah, but we're not in that direction right now, so...
No, you've walked straight past it though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you could
just walk
probably,
past it.
there's probably a weapon lying amongst that rubble.
I'll let you pick a random weapon. Except
You
for a
have a
dagger.
look. A thigh bone, a arm bone, or a hand.
That's handy.
I'm looking for a proper weapon. I'm a warrior. I'm not looking for anything crap, okay?
Looking in there, there's a rock.
No, but you could be well armed.
I look around for stuff, and
Splat tries to hold you up a rock.
I take the rock.
Okay. You've got a rock.
I'm going to rock. I said, that'll have to do, and I'll put it in my pocket, because I said I'll put my longbow out anyway, so... I thought, I'm staying behind, I'm at the back there, and I'm just trying to protect Amiko.
You can see Splat squinting at you as you put it in your pocket.
Okay, and I'll take it out.
He looks happier because you went to all this effort of getting you a rock, and then you went to put it away.
Well, I might need to later splat. Anyway, Bruce, you got this covered? He gives me the nod. So.
Is there a hand?
Yes.
Could you, like, tie the hand to the end of the lance and you could just, like, freak people out? Just be like...
Rory doesn't do that. Rory doesn't go down to that kind of humour, so... Even that...
I was born that low, so...
Rory hasn't quite got that level yet. He's getting close to it, but not quite there yet. He just blows himself up out of squashed by many bits of
You
rock.
pop by yourself, yeah.
Yeah, pop by myself, but no. So
when Nashru goes into that room, sees the screen,
Yep.
it triggers the memory that, hang on, like I say, having looked around this room, obviously not found anything important other than what could have been described. But yeah, he'll have a look behind the screen, having triggered the memory of the fact that, hang on, there was another passageway down that way somewhere.
Is there anything in the room that looks like it's of any kind of religious significance?
Well, looking at it, the screen could be considered that, though unsure. The golden cup maybe, the elaborate chest with the golden plaque on it.
Can we open the chest?
Yeah, that's where she got the fox fur from.
There's a silver jug, right?
There is a silver jug, small silver jug.
It's the holy commode.
I'm always looking for anything that's team related that might...
Everything is team related.
I'm just looking for something that might point in the direction of what we're supposed to be looking for.
Well, Nashru, did you just say, I think there's a hidden passageway here somewhere?
Oh, okay, well, Nashru's specifically looking. He's not talking yet, but he's specifically looking.
So the wall you're looking at is flush with the ground. It looks like it's always been like that, but you do see that there are marks at the top where it has slid down.
Mm-hmm. Well, Nashru will move the screen aside, so he's got more room to work, and start looking about how to actually open this passage.
Okay, give me a perception roll.
Where am I? Nashru. Not Sandru. 36.
Looking at it, you're sure that there is either some lever or mechanism somewhere, but it's not in this room.
Okay. I will point out the fact that, yep, there's a way through here, but it looks like the opening's going to be, the actual mechanism to open it's going to be elsewhere. Can I see if I can use a, thievery type stuff to effectively unlock it without finding it?
You don't believe it's locked. You just believe it's a very heavy stone dropped.
Can I walk up with my hammer and offer to hit it?
Sure. You can.
Would you like me to
looking
hit
at the looking up at the ceiling, so it looks like the stone is dropped from the ceiling type stuff.
Yep.
But I'm assuming it's still flush with the ceiling. But it doesn't look like I can see any evidence of an opening above it. Like if we can lift the stone back up again.
You can see scrape marks at the top of the stone where it has obviously caught with something. But it does. You do think it may. When you first saw it, it was a lot higher up.
Yeah. So presumably, if the stone could be raised, that's how we can do it. But yeah, I will point out the fact that this stone has fallen down, blocking a passageway.
And you remember from what you saw, the stone is at least 5 foot across.
Yep.
And it's about 10 foot wide.
Okay. Yep.
And you can see it going up at least 15 feet.
Yep. So I'll say So the
no matter how strong I am.
But the mechanism to try and reopen it does not appear to be in this room at the moment.
It does not.
So I suggest we either keep looking, unless you guys feeling particularly burly and tough.
Could we turn Aurora into a pancake?
You can lift half a mountain.
I want to... Miko, can you just do something for me a second? Can you get out...
As he says this, Nashru will even pull out a crowbar and say, hey, I'm here to help.
Now, can you get out Shusen and approach where Nashru thinks where the opening is?
She looks dubious and goes, okay.
I just said, look, it might just detect, it might open for you based on your ancestry. I'm trying to try it out. If not, we'll keep looking around.
Okay. She stands there, she waves the sword around. Nothing happens.
Cool. So I'll ask a question. It's like, okay. Is there any writing on the wall or anything like that? Or is it... No, okay, cool.
I'm going to try push it up.
Okay, give me a strength
Just
check.
once. Let's just try.
Can I assist him?
Yeah.
I've got an assistant thing I can do here. I can give him group aid. You can ally a skill check for a friend.
You're doing the aid action, which means you got to roll for it.
Yeah. When you aid an ally check that doesn't have attack... oh, that means I can actually aid as well as attack at the same time.
So what kind of roll is that going to be?
Well, first he's got to do his check to see if he actually helps you or hinders you.
Roll.
So this is your athletics check.
Yes.
So what did you get for your athletics check?
36.
36. Just checking because I think it's the DC 20. You may have critically succeeded on helping someone.
And I also, when I succeed, I get a critical succeed.
What happens if you get crit?
No, it doesn't make it, unless it's a 20, it makes no difference. So it means that it must be a critical success because it's at least a success. So
You do that thing from like the Mummy where you lean on it and it just goes straight up, and you're like, oh.
So what's your rank in athletics? Master. Okay. So that means he gives you a +3 to your check because critical success is pretty good.
So I'm rolling on athletics.
You're rolling on athletics with a +3 because of the crit success.
is that a 1 or a 20?
Well, it's upgraded.
So it's 42 upgraded.
Okay.
Does that include
So
+3?
Yes.
you're seeing this dwarf just go, I can do it. As he just sits there and just shoves on the wall, and you just hear this grinding and crunching sound as you're hearing gears get stripped in the background as he just starts forcing up this door about, he's got it up about 2 feet.
Grab the crowbar, pin it.
Nashu, being a bit surprised initially, having made the comment about if you guys feel like lifting half a mountain, having held the crowbar out but not having paid, he'll actually, pop the crowbar underneath, so therefore it's upright to
And pins
to allow the
pin it so it
You
stays.
can pin it so it stays in place. So you got about this 2 feet gap
Yep.
in the thing,
So
and you can hear the mechanism behind it just completely crap itself.
It's stuck like that now. As you're moving.
Hey, that was a Superman lift. It's like, if you can move a mountain, hold it. I've got this.
yeah.
That's teamwork.
That's a bit more weapons,
It wasn't me doing lift. I was just providing more. I'm doing the massage of the shoulders, the whole lot. Yeah.
So at this point, who's going to slide in first?
Well, what can we see on the other side?
Darkness.
I'll.
Well, I've got dark vision.
I was going to say, Splat, can you see anything in there? Splat nicely.
What was that? You?
Splat, can you see anything in there while looking under the thing? Splat.
He looks and looks at you.
Okay, point. Nashri, off you go.
Actually,
Then he
he's got
looks at
dark vision, so, and he's certainly looking while he's got the put in the crowbar in place.
Would then
Okay.
the silver jug...
So you can see what seems to be some sort of table. It's a smallish room with what appears to be shrines down the sides with statues on them.
Okay. So there's definitely a room on the other side there. Can I suggest that possibly a large rock or something else to put in the gap there? Because that crowbar may not hold up half a mountain, unlike a dwarf.
You see Splat wander over to you holding out a rock.
Yeah. And I come on, Splat, we'll get a big rock. It's big rock time.
Well, he's holding out this rock to Sandra. See if Sandra will actually, Nashru, to see if Nashru will actually take
I'll
a
go
rock from
get a
him.
big rock that I think's a fit there.
Nashu doesn't even bother to actually detain it with an
I'll
extended
get a
look.
rock that can fit under there, but still allow people to go through.
I think I should just go under there, because I can do produce light. I was going to cast light on something in there.
So, give me a, do we have escape artist in this still?
I think it comes under acrobatics type stuff.
Acrobatics, yeah.
For squeezing?
Oh, he's got a thing for squeezing,
You do?
don't you?
Oh, I do!
Because it's rock.
The thing.
Isn't it? You got a 2-foot gap, haven't you?
Yeah, but he's a dwarf.
What's it called?
He's a squeeze.
Well, as soon as it looks like you're starting to not get under smoothly, Nashu says, wait.
It's called rock something, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to find it. It's called Rock Thing, with the rock.
Merge with
so-
the rock.
Paper.
Be the rock.
Rock crawler or something?
Mountain stoutness?
No.
Nope.
As soon as it looks like you're going to even scrape any part of it, Nashu says, wait.
Okay,
Because you'll probably knock out the crowbar.
Do you need help?
Yeah, I don't know. But yes, I can do that. I can wait. While I find the thing. Because I might have not have that.
Okay, give me a perception roll for Horori to see if you can find a rock suitable.
But squeeze is an acrobatic
Natural
thing,
one.
and it's like, yeah. If you're trained, you can normally squeeze something barely fitting your shoulders.
Yeah.
No, he's got a special.
You find what you think
gift
is the
from
perfect
my
rock.
understanding.
Come back to the pit.
And you pick it up. It takes a lot of effort to drag it in. You're sweating. You're swearing. For you, swearing because you're carrying so much is really common thing happening.
So, and that one doesn't fit, does it?
And you put it down beside it, and it is about an inch too big.
Go back again. 28.
Okay, you find something. You get it. It's about an inch small. Well, it means it will stop it going all the way down, but
I get Splat's rock that I give him and put it there on top of that one.
okay.
Because that was about the same. Each
About that.
I think so. Right, there you go, Splat. You did well.
That's alright.
I give Splat a high five.
You high five.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So now, so is this rock about 2 feet in diameter?
It's probably about 2 feet in diameter. Yeah,
So now we've got about 3 feet to squeeze through on the other side of the rock. Is that right?
that's correct.
Right.
Can't go through sideways. Have to go through forwards.
As I said, I'm going to take guard at the door, even though I've got no melee weapon.
Yeah.
And choose my fist.
Okay. Nasru's happy to manoeuvre through. So now,
I'll stay on the side with the Miko, and if you need a Miko in there, just let us know.
And so, what was Dimley's ability to squeeze through things?
I can't find it anywhere, so I think it might have been one
I'm
of them.
just having a look now.
but are you trained in acrobatics?
Yeah, I'm a master in acrobatics.
In which case, I
Yeah.
think you
So
can squeeze through.
it means that, like, yeah, as a master, even with the squeeze skill, it just might take you a bit longer. Is the point if you haven't got the actual automatic type stuff, but
Roll.
you can get through something where as long as your head can fit, you can actually get yourself through.
Yeah, I've trimmed a bit off, remember? Yeah, I'm a master and I've got plus 20, so...
Yeah, and you squeeze through without any problem.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So Nash will also go through. So what are we actually looking at on the other side? How big is this space?
It's about 30 by 30 room. So the walls of this room are covered in faded abstract decorations and riddled with cavities and cracks. Stone display tables stand along the north and south walls, bare but for rusted metal shards and blackhead splinters of wood. A 6-foot-tall stone statue of a female samurai stands in a niche in the middle of the far wall. Her elaborate armor engraved with numerous cartouches filled with inscriptions. The statue once held a 2-handed sword, but the sword blade has been sheared off and many of the statue's features have been defaced or destroyed.
Can I, with my hammer,
Mhm.
do this really cool thing where I, like... and then just cast light on it?
Yep.
Just to light up the room so I can see better. And
Everything is well lit up.
could I do a perception to see if I see anything outside of that description?
Okay, so...
Sandrew's looking at the statue and seeing if he can work out who it is, what we're looking at, type stuff.
Give me a knowledge religion roll.
Me?
A religion roll for Sandra, and you can have one as well.
Miko's still in there.
30 for religion.
8.
So Nashru.
Okay, it's a statue for make up who you believe it is because you quickly failed.
So what do I need to do?
You get to tell everyone a story of who you believe the statue is, and that's the fact you believe it is.
It is Rihanna of the Golden Clan. Yes.
And you know for a fact that this
I
is
know for a
correct.
fact. That's Rihanna. Look at the knuckles on the right hand.
Okay, so Jeremy, with your check, you recognize it as a TN goddess, Shizuru, goddess of ancestors, honor, swordplay, and samurai, as well as the sun.
I might
That
be
is
thinking
my
of
god,
that
you know.
I know. And you stayed outside her shrine because you don't
Yeah.
want to protect out here. I get that.
Well, no, it's more than
I'm teasing you.
I know. But does I hear anything about this inside at all?
Do you call anything out, Nashru?
Well, Nashru's all thinking about this himself at the moment, half listening to the description of this great goddess of Rihanna.
And I'll just shout, do you want to go in there yet?
Okay, yeah. So and there's no other obvious exits or anything like that at this stage.
No other obvious exits here. So give
Okay.
me. So what are you looking at? Anything else here?
Okay, looking around. Okay, having recognised the statue, saying I will call back, saying, well, this is obviously a shrine to what was it? The goddess of honour, swordplay, samurai, or something. I can't remember what they say. Nashru obviously knows what they were, but I can't remember.
As soon as I hear that
Suzuru,
name,
yep.
I get a bit of a joyous excitement in myself. My patron. And I actually take my armour off, and I want to go in there and do a quick kind of just see myself kind of thing.
What did you take your armour off for? You could have just rolled in a ball and rolled straight in.
Yeah.
I will be blocked. I'll be stuck.
In fact, you're probably about 2 feet high, aren't you?
No, I want to
When
make
you're
sure
in the
Miko
ball,
goes in there
could have made it
first
perfect
before I go,
size.
'cause I want to make sure I'm the last person going in.
Okay, Emiko heads in before you.
Okay, and I see it as my patron that before I...
So does it look like this shrine is in use, or...
It looks like it hasn't really been used, that they have looted all the areas around it. They've defaced the statue, they've damaged the in various points.
My blood is rising when I see this because I'm so upset because this is like... No.
I didn't know you were such a fan of the god Rihanna. Like, the... Really? Wow.
It's not God Rihanna.
And you can see all little writing in Mincanian, which is the local language.
Different from TN?
Different from TN.
Yep.
And you can see that Amiko seems to understand the writing.
Miko, do you notice this at all? Can you read this?
She looks at it and she says that there are a lot of names here asking thanks and for good luck. Seem to be names of people asking Shizuru for luck as she's reading over the various parts of the statue.
Do I recognise any of these names that you're reading out at all?
They're long faded to most people's. This is not a prominent region of the area.
No.
And most samurai were never there for prestige.
That's true.
And as she says, she comes across something that says, "This is different." Has no name for the person. It says, "Empress of Heaven, touch me with your grace."
Empress of Heaven.
Are you the totally goddess in this one or the other?
Isn't that what they're going to call you if you rise to your throne?
She thinks for a bit and she touches it, but nothing seems to happen.
I touch it.
Can I do a
She
nobility?
looks at you and she raises an eyebrow. Shall I call you Empress from now on?
Please.
Oh, Empress.
Miko got 38 on nobility.
Mm-hmm.
So she's heard of that before, my nobility check. Rory's still in upset about the whole shrine, so he only got a 2 on his roll. So
Hang on, so...
Harori,
well,
have you
so
still
in
got
the
that
shrine,
seal you found in the box?
Do I know what this is relating to? Because I have assurance religion and I've got something that allows me like perfect recall with religion stuff because I have assurance in it.
and
I will tell you
Miko
what that
has
is
that
called.
too as one of her things, but I didn't bring it up. So.
Harori, have you still got that seal you found in the box?
Yeah.
You'd have to have the box though.
Automatic
Do you have-
knowledge, that's what it's called.
Do you have the warding box, or did you give that to Amiko to look after while you were doing stuff?
I gave it to Miko. I said, "You still got that box I gave you, Miko?" And she says, "Oh yeah, of course. It was a nice box. It's a box, but it's a nice box."
Well, she knows what's in it.
I know.
What it is.
I was going to say, Is that not the seal of your family?
Now, where's it say when it says that's the emperor?
At which point she also points out to you, didn't pulling the box out of the seal out of the box cause problems last time?
Mm-hmm.
And considering how close we are to the throne, is this risk worth it? We may call upon the Oni by pulling it out.
Are we all prepared now in case that happens? I myself will be just used as cannon fodder. I'm putting that there right now. But and then she hands over a whispering strike, so I've got at least something. I think. So at least poke with a better.
Martin?
Yeah.
Naturally thinking from a religious side of it, Toto, would the shrine have any protections on it or anything like that that might contain emanations?
It may or may not. It depends. It has been defaced, so there could be some lessening of whatever effect it might have had in the past.
Okay, well, he'll point out then the fact, well, this does appear to have been set up as a place of sanctuary.
She pulls out the box and go, well, does anyone want to be prepared in case something bad happens?
I flex and say,
You're always
I'm
prepared?
always prepared.
She just strokes your beard and goes, yep, I know.
Nashua and Sandra are definitely taking up positions at opposite corners of the room.
She's going to do something, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Shield Other on her.
Okay, so she opens up the warding box.
And I'm going to cast shield other on her too from my whispering strike. Oh no.
Can
One
she be the subject of 2 Shield Other
I don't
spells
know.
at the same time?
No.
I was thinking that I can't.
It
do
would
it yet.
one would override the other.
Yeah. So, did you want me to take the damage into you?
It doesn't specifically... No, I'm quite happy to take the
Okay,
damage.
cool. I'll just meant because the whispering strike had shield other on it. I didn't remember that.
Unless, of course, she takes half damage and the other two people both take half damage.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
So we're getting ready to fight, just in case, right? I hold out a dagger.
I say I've got whispering strike now. Okay.
He's got a slightly longer dagger now.
This is my sacrifice dagger. So if I have to die, I get. So.
Okay.
It's
So,
my.
and she pulls out the jade seal.
So, okay.
You'll feel comfortable and peaceful right now as it comes out.
And I mentioned that the sword can sense on if you need it. Just ask it nicely, okay? So.
And then she touches the statue of the seal. And as she does that, you standing behind her?
Yeah, I'll stand behind it.
Okay, give me a reflex save.
That's very cool.
So as she touches the statue, there's a big flash of white light and sound of rock moving rapidly right behind her as a hole opens up in the floor.
I thought you meant right behind her, as in the big half mountain falls has bent the crowbar and crushed the rock.
32.
32. As you're standing with your legs spread wide apart, you've gotten limber in your deaths. Looking down,
Yeah.
you can see that there's a pile of weapons in dust below you.
Dust.
How far below?
Okay.
About 10 feet down.
Can I...
The rock itself is about 5 feet deep. That has open, which means most scrying spells will not get through that.
Okay. Okay, guys, you want me to go down there?
With your stick.
Well, if I die, I just die many times down there. So.
Yeah, but do you bleed or deflect?
Can we see anything? How big's the space under there?
It is a 10 by 10 circular room.
So it's just
And
a
there's
little
about a
cage.
5 by 5 trapdoor leading down into it. Is that right?
There's a 5 foot
Right.
thickness of the door.
Yep.
Just as a player, can I ask a bit of a hypothetical question?
Mm-hmm.
we would all agree that success breeds arrogance, right? I jumped down the hole.
Okay.
I think you mean you meant to say arrogance breeds success, but
No.
that's not correct.
No, I succeeded twice. So now
Okay.
I can see the
As you jump down, you see all these what appears to still be razor sharp weapons covering the floor that you're jumping down onto.
I try and land around the razor sharp weapons.
Okay, give me a acrobatics
Oh,
check
thank
with disadvantage because there's not a lot of purchase.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine, guys. It's fine. Don't worry.
That's good.
Very happy.
Woohoo!
Thank you very much for fixing me. That's okay.
I'm a master of acrobatics, so I don't need to roll.
Like obviously some of them we still need to
Supposed to
organise the
try.
time for you to be measured, whatever. But
The lowest is 29.
Okay, so you come sliding down and basically arms spread either side of you, facing down at this pile of all weapons with their edges up in front of your face.
But I'm like that?
Yep, and you notice bits of your beard disappear off into the edges of the weapons.
They're that sharp.
Yep.
Oh, cool. I stand up.
is there any space between, like enough space between them to stand up?
No, they weren't laid like that.
So can I push them out of the way with my hammer?
You can.
Do they move?
Yes, you can. You can push them. They sort of clink a little bit because they're in grooves.
Right. Can I push them out of the groove to make it safe?
Yes.
Alright, I would like to do
It takes
so.
you a while
That's
with
fine.
a lot of sweating and
That's fine.
a little bit of cursing.
I'm more worried about, because you didn't quite mention it, but I'm very aware of that rather large halberd blade that's sitting just below my crotch.
Well, you notice that later.
So I can feel it there, and I'm just like, So I'd
Okay.
like to make it safe for everyone, please.
So,
No. You should be more concerned about the rather large halberd that actually was leaning against the wall, but now is started to tilt forward.
Nah, I'm too short for that.
okay, so down here you find two masterwork Oyoris, which is the armor Mark's wearing, but doesn't seem to be enchanted at this stage. So well crafted. And they are crafted for Ronin.
Yep.
Two Habuto helmets, very finely detailed. The likes of these things have not been seen for like over 1,000 years. You see 10 masterwork Takayus, which are the longbows of the region. Daikays.
Can I use longbow? I can't because I'm a dwarf, can I?
It says on your
Yes, you can. You're a large creature. Small creatures cannot use large weapons.
That's right, yeah. Medium, yeah.
They're on Pathfinder.
And medium creatures can use those weapons. What was that?
They're on Pathfinder.
One of the
too,
games we
those
haven't
weapons,
talked
don't
about.
Technically no.
Dwarf,
No,
nothing,
nothing
we
to do
know
with it.
someone
But
might be able to
they're the longbow equivalent. But
Yeah.
they're just
Your
they're
medium.
completely different style.
halflings. I
Style you haven't
Yeah,
seen for a
I
long
think that
time.
was the problem, yeah.
With 20 arrows for each one. With that, you find 5 amazingly crafted katanas.
I'll hand
When
it.
when you say amazingly crafted, what does that look like mechanically?
Mechanically, it is basically you'd think someone spent maybe 20 years making each of these swords at least.
But they're mechanically the same as a regular
Mechanically, they are equivalent of a legendary weapon,
katana. Right.
but as in someone with legendary crafting made each of these weapons.
Right.
So they would give you I think that's a plus 2 to use them in
Yeah, there's
combat.
a metric for it.
Not in the main book, but in some of the supplement books they do that for crafting, where you can actually craft better weapons. The standard weapon is expertly crafted. And if you're not an expert in crafting, then everything you make is considered of poor quality.
Right, and then there's master and then there's legendary.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's a plus 2 to actually use these weapons without magic.
As I'm handing everything up, can I just say, can you keep one of the bows aside for me?
And you notice that one of the weapons is made out of adamantine with scroll work all up the side of it. One of those katanas.
High quality weapons, legendaries are a +3, and they have 3 property rune slots.
Can I stop and hold a really shiny one and go, is this it?
It depends on which bit it's from. They have different books, so there are more things that will point that to it. So I want to make sure I'm referencing the right stuff for it.
So I wave the shiny one.
Are you
up
saying
and go,
about the quality?
Yeah, the
thing?
quality. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just for high quality, and then they've got devastating weapons, which obviously have their own thing. So you've got high quality and devastating, or with armor, high quality or resilient.
I know what I'm talking about is that there's another set of things that are not property runes and not magical. So you can have a legendary weapon that is not magical, that has different rules that I will go to later when I dig them out.
Right.
So at this stage I'm going to make it as just +3.
Yeah. They're exceptional weapons. Exactly how exceptional, we'll find out.
So people and the rules do exist. It's just that I can't point you to them right now.
It's in the original Pathfinder set.
No, it's in Pathfinder 2. That's what I'm saying is
Okay,
I've got enough split books that I've got enough stuff for that.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool, man. So, Mandy,
And it was one of the optional rules, so it may not be one of the things I've actually used as a main thing.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Oh,
It
these aren't magical.
comes down to the fact that Harori
These aren't
may
magical.
have something other than a dagger now.
Yeah.
And okay, so
Yeah, so they're basically just +3 weapons for legendary.
at this stage it's only a +2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
is there any daggers down there?
Okay, so moving on from that one, you find a single masterwork, legendary Nigata.
Nagata. I know that.
Niganata.
Yeah.
I have trouble getting my words around the syllables.
That's more like a dagger. Yeah, I do remember this one. Yeah.
4 legendary short spears.
Yep.
And 3 legendary Wikazashi.
Yeah.
Wakazashi.
Yeah. Lightning Sprint Strike. Yeah.
These are all the weapons that nearly cut my balls off,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So I would have probably died.
That was a masterwork Nagata use.
We'll call them all legendary at this stage.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sorry.
So they have been crafted by masters of the legends of the trade.
So he hands up that specialised katana. When I pick it up, can I have a look at what it says on the kind of writing on it?
On it, it has Hirabashi written up in Tian along the blade.
Which is the person we're looking for. Sword, I think we're looking for. Yeah. This is our sword, guys.
And
From down the
as
hole
you're
here.
holding it, the blade glows faintly.
Yeah. Well, as you're looking at everything in wonder, Nasher will say, is it worth grabbing out everything quickly so we can put the seal away?
I think so. Let's get everything out of here quickly, put the seal away as quick as possible, and prepare for incoming.
Can someone help me out of the hole?
Oh, sorry. and before we take the seal, I'll try to pull you up out of there.
Because I just gave you all the crap, dude.
And then it's like, funk.
He did a good job.
So hopefully I get lifted out.
Yes, you do get lifted out and not the honourable burial.
Well, we had to leave payment behind for all the weapons you just stole.
I leave a dagger.
Ignore that now. It's
I-
just for you to look at later.
I leave a dagger.
Oh, we're not leaving a dwarf behind as payment?
No, but I'll leave a dagger. I'll put the dagger down.
Now you don't have a dagger to hand.
No, I don't have a dagger to hand you, so you're very happy.
And when Amiko pulls off the seal from this statue, the doors just close.
Okay. Well, let's get everything out in the main room, and then I think we need to make sure we've got no people coming to visit us all of a sudden.
We left the dagger there, so if people come, we'll be like, we couldn't get through the door, and we'll just take the rock out.
You
No?
take the rock out.
Well, once we're all out, can we take the rock out so it drops again?
You take the rock out.
Does it drop?
Nashu's tied a rope around the crowbar with the idea of being able to try and pull it out. So, but I expect they will probably need someone else to give it a tug to actually give it a good pull. So,
Well, you find even with your strength, you can still pull it out.
okay.
But it doesn't move because I broke all the gears.
Yeah.
Yep. I lifted the mountain, remember? I literally...
It was one of those winding sort of things. So you just went crunch, 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 jam.
As we walk out, Nashu will say, "Oh look, there's the crank."
Yeah, the crank is actually on the inside. But the crank actually has been sheared off the wall.
Yes.
So Nashra pulled out, did he?
Someone had Nesher pulls out the crowbar.
He collects his crowbar again.
Sure he didn't pull it out. Oh, sorry, I just had a dirty mind just for a second.
You can be as dirty as you like.
Yeah, that's right.
So I guess we go out. Is my wolf kind of howling because there's people around, or okay?
He's looking rather bored.
All right. I pat
And
my
he's playing
wolfie.
with one of the hands you pulled out.
I tell him about how good a boy I've been.
He hands you the hand.
So
I high five
I
him.
say, guys, let's use the horses while we can and take all the stuff back. So we'll try to get a couple of horses to carry some of the stuff that we picked up. I'm shooting the saddles in the stable and stuff like that. Is there or not?
There are some, but not a huge
No,
amount.
just enough just to carry the stuff that we picked up. And then
Okay, Nashra is also keen to go and check out the storeroom and make certain nothing else was missed along that northern edge of the...
Okay. Making it back to the cellar, you do find dried mushrooms, wild turnips, and some smoked meat.
Well, we've got plenty of carrying capacity, so we might as well take the supplies with us, because, hey,
It's not like they need it anymore.
that's right. And I'm sure it'll be useful back at the Ronin camp.
yes, but I think we might have to get there soon if we got somebody on the escape path at the moment. What do you reckon?
And
Nash?
before you head off, I might also point out to Nashru that you do remember that there was a lot of paperwork in that room of the spores.
I was about to think about the fact that, yeah, paperwork, so certainly, yeah, we'll take a look around and basically, yeah, see what else we can find that's not covered in rubble at the present time.
While they're doing that, could I wait outside and just like climb up a tree or something and just kind of keep an eye out?
You can. Or you can go to one of the lookouts and do that too, which is above the tree. But if you
It's not
prefer to be in
quite
the
as
tree
cool,
line,
but okay. I'll go to the lookout. I'll be in the lookout. Looking.
I'll see if there's any apples and horse stuff in that storeroom just to feed some of the horses.
not in that storeroom.
Is it all in the actual stable?
There's some hay, but not a lot. They must have been
Um,
relying on whatever supplies came back.
Okay, cool.
Is anyone else nervous the music just got louder?
As we start to go back to that room with the papers,
Yep.
Sanji will offer a wet rag again just to ensure there's no residual spores or things like that.
I'm not going in there. I don't like that room. I'm not going there at all.
And we'll see what we can find basically, yeah, in that room and any other rooms that are actually still accessible
So
in the castle.
So I'll stand outside with the Miko with the horses and maybe Woofy.
Because I'm suspecting that we're not going to
He's just
be able to
like
find the
chucking
tracks of
down
this
from the
person
hot
because,
lookout.
hey,
He's just-
30 horses went back and forth over that.
So yeah, I'll be sitting downstairs and I'll see Woofy pick up his extra arm and chewing on something next and chewing on something else.
Yep.
And I'll just try to keep the horses company while trying to teach Miko how to use the katana now. So
Okay.
Can we recognise any of these papers?
Having a good look through it, it appears to be done by their shaman.
That's a shame.
And there are notes down of how their god has sent them a prophecy that a samurai was coming to wipe them out. And they had a chance to catch him in a trap.
Uh-huh.
And so there are plans on how they were going to lure them into the building you caught them in. And they'd been rigging the building to collapse over the escape tunnel, so
really
they
natural.
would escape out of the escape tunnel while dropping the building on top of them, setting off the flaming liquid and then burning them alive. And they'd even had a bunch of local villagers that they dressed up as bandits already dead in the upstairs area to show evidence that they all died in the death of it. And that it would basically, that they were ready to go expecting the samurai to come in through the front gate. And so it would take them about half an hour to an hour to set it up properly. They could
Yeah.
probably do a half-assed job in 10 minutes, or a rush job in a minute or two. But
Yep. So basically, yes, it was
So is
clear
Adventure
that they
Path
knew
stuff
we were
there,
coming,
yeah?
and they set things up to try and kill the samurai.
and basically they expected to take the samurai and his men all in one go, because they would just lead him into the main room and then collapse the tunnel behind them.
Except that, proxy came true and we wiped them out.
It didn't
That's nice.
quite
That's
happen the way they expected. So they were
That's right,
expecting
yeah.
a frontal assault,
Yeah.
because
And
that's what
instead,
samurai do.
we came around the side, moving too quickly for them to respond to, and they got caught in their own trap.
Yeah, very much so. That basically everything you read from the instructions is the trap went off backwards and caught them in it.
They got the samurai, by the way. And I look at Nashru when he says that. I said, yeah, they got the samurai, thank you, Nashru.
Yeah, but the proxy came true. We wiped them all out. I mean,
And they killed the samurai, as far
and
as
all
I
the
knew.
stragglers got wiped out by him. So,
And,
so they have been wiped out.
and then I moved the mountain, so it's fine.
However,
and
their
the-
leader apparently still got away.
And there's documentation of how they would be safe going through the forest off to the side, as long as they're careful with their fire, because there's a nature spirit there who honors the old ways, and as long as they don't damage the forest, they're safe. The person who damages the forest is doomed to a rather nasty death,
Wait, what?
because the face spirit there is rather vengeful, and as far as they know, nigh unkillable.
Wait, what?
And
I'm sorry, wait.
and has been known to hunt people down over centuries to basically repay them for any slight it's had. So they've been all of their bandits have been taught to be rather careful.
Can we rewind it? Wait, what?
No.
Wait a minute.
No, I take 2 steps away from...
Did I kill the vengeful spirit?
No.
Right, so it
You
doesn't
did
like
do a
me
lot of
anymore.
damage to the forest, though.
It doesn't like me, does it? No, I
probably
put the
no.
fires out, so
That-
it helped. It's happy.
And you basically did the killing blow on its forest shrine.
So Nashru's telling me this while I drink from the flask, and I do this.
Now, and I go look at you and go, I'm the only person that can get killed by Faye and come back, okay? Just point it out there. You can't do that right now.
I'll drop a mountain on it. Bring it.
Cool. I'm going to be sitting over here with all the horses and Bruce, and I'm keeping away from anything close to
And it's the sort of face spirit that's been known to possess the dead.
It's fine. I'm good.
We'll be
Not a
through
happy
this one.
space spirit, then.
Oh, it's got its nice things, but it's nice when it's got its home.
Do Fae fall under religion?
They do fall under religion, so this
Knowledge.
is more Makai religion, but
Yeah. So, what sort of alignment are Fae usually?
Normally neutral, on the lines of neutral good, neutral evil, or just neutral.
So this one would potentially, just hazarding an educated guess with my knowledge stuff, potentially neutral evil.
Depends on how it's treated. So if
Neutral
you
charge.
if you appease it, it's neutral good. If you're indifferent towards it and don't interact with it, it's neutral. If you basically annoy it, then it's the equivalent of neutral evil.
But like for the sake of say a spell, it would be neutral.
Again, it's depending on how it's interacting with you.
If you
But
ask
what
me,
if my spell affects multiple people?
If it affect
Like, so the so to be specific, I've got Circle of Protection, and what I do is I ward a creature and everyone nearby to that creature, so a 10-foot emanation, against a specified alignment. So if the thing's pissed at him, and Horori's next to him, and Horori's, like, it's neutral to him, would it be evil or neutral?
It would be basically based on the person's protecting. So if you're wanting to protect the dwarf from a spirit that is currently evil towards him, then yes, your protection against evil would work for that purposes.
Right, yep.
But just think of all the Fae that we had at the forest that time. And some are good and some are bad. But, so I think...
but I can tell you one other thing. They all explode.
That explosion doesn't kill them.
Oh. So what you're saying is I done screwed up.
So, what about the part of it that says summoned creatures of the chosen alignment can't willingly enter the area without a will save?
The difference is the Fae aren't summoned normally.
Oh, okay, I see. Yep, no, that's fine.
So it's like if you had demons.
Yeah, so it's just that whatever the bonus of protection would change from person to person for a Fae. Good to know. Yep,
But
sweet.
the Fae might be only, we don't know, it might be only pissed at him,
Yeah, it's fine.
or whoever was there.
Yeah, but that
yeah.
I was just asking, like, from what my character knows of religion
But from your religious
and the way
thing,
her spells work.
there's a good chance you'll be equally angry at
At all of
Nashru
us.
and
Yeah.
at Dimly, but none of the others.
Yeah.
So the Fae, the Yeti. Who else?
Well, the thing is,
I'm
is-
just-
thing is, you didn't screw up. You
You mean the baby
you saved
Yeti?
the party from being burnt out.
I did.
The thing is, if you didn't put out
And
the
got rid of
fire,
the bandits.
then the fire was actually going to overtake you before you could get out.
Awesome.
Like, you did what you could.
Yeah,
So you did the right thing, just that it has repercussions.
of course.
So no matter how good you attempt something, there's always going to be something bad that happens.
I
Yep.
know all about this, by the way, just got to hear the history.
And it has been noted that one of the reasons this place has been empty is most people don't know how to treat forest spirits.
I do make them explode. Sorry.
I take 2 steps out of the way. You see I'm getting about 10 to 20 feet an hour away kind of thing. All the horses clump back.
I look at the nearest tree and just go,
You point at it,
yes.
the branch just moves and points towards you.
Awesome.
And then it moves back. At least you think it did. It may have just been the wind. I'm sure it was pointing at you. Then you notice there's no wind.
So having raided the castle of all the foodstuffs, luxury goods, paperwork, blah blah, loaded up onto the horses,
Yep.
I suggest it's time we return to the roaming camp and hope that the
Do we have
our
the sword?
compatriots have been as successful as we have.
Was it one of the katanas?
Yeah.
Ah, right.
So one that had writing up along the edge of the
Right,
building.
okay, yeah.
The one that you had mentioned,
Yeah, yeah.
And as you're getting ready to go, you see some pennants flapping in the breeze coming towards you on top of some lances.
Do you
Do I-
recognise the
And-
heraldry?
I'm on the lookout, so do I see anything?
That's what you see.
Oh, okay. There's
The people holding the lances are hidden below the tree line, but
there's lances with flags on them.
Do you recognise the heraldry?
Do I recognise the flag?
you're not really that keen on Minkai heraldry.
Right.
Do you?
It's a
I
flag.
can't say he hasn't told me.
It's a flag, and there's how many of them?
You can see about 12 to 15.
12, 15. We
Does
can
Nashua
take
or
them.
Sandrew recognise the heraldry?
Do you go up to the lookout point when he calls it out?
Yeah, so
I
we'll
will.
head up quickly that way if we're about to be heading out. So
I'm showing around the Mika. I'm not looking
Yep.
outside. So.
Okay, so she heads up as well.
Oh, well, I'll go up then. Horses, you've got this. I'll walk up.
Now I'm expecting that this won't be anything religion based, so I'm expecting I won't recognise them because I don't know anything about TN culture. But just in case it is a religious thing, I'll just ask.
It's not religious, but give me a perception roll as you look.
Well, I suppose what we're doing. Mika, you're doing so well today. She got 36 in perception, and I've already got 21.
38, but not upgraded.
And what did Nashru get?
Nashua got 37 on TN law or 43 on perception.
Okay, so between you, you recognise it's the symbol of the Ronin that you'd met in the camp,
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
and a bunch of other.
Hey, I know a thing about TN. I know
samurai.
that it's that dude's thing.
Is that a good person?
Yes.
Well, he's the one that wouldn't let you in the village because you were evil.
Right. So I don't need to like start because I was about
and
to.
you do see the symbol of the paladin who basically wouldn't allow them in the village because they were evil behind it coming.
She's okay with me, though.
I'm glad because I was about to be like archers to the left, people to the flank, and like make them think there was an army. But yeah, that's cool. I won't do that. So yeah.
Well, I'll go back down, and because the gate's probably still open at the moment.
Yep.
I'll go down with the horses and just wait down the bottom when they arrive. So.
Yeah.
And you see,
I
as
think
you,
since Nashua and Amiko maybe ended up being the main spokesperson, was it?
yeah.
Oh, I'm not speaking. I'm just.
So as you stick your head out to have a look, you notice that right beside you with a sword out is a rather familiar looking elf chuckling to herself as she realised she could have, taken your head off when you're having a look.
Yes. Shailu.
Shalalu.
Oh, okay.
Always sticking your hair out again, she says.
Don't worry, I've been flattened recently, and I just keep walking away
She
from it.
looks at you and says, you got better.
And
As is an improvement.
I say, Miko's got the sword now, and I just walk away.
I walk up and go, I lifted a mountain.
Yes. Is that what you call it these days? She says as she walks past.
I straighten my pants.
I knew where it was going.
I'm going to slap Nasher upside the head again
Mm-hmm.
and glare at him.
Apparently you're getting hit a lot from your sister.
My mother hit him, but the sister can't, so...
What is a goddess?
I know.
You, sister?
And I'll be like very close so you can lip read, and I will say very loudly, I'm telling on you. Because that's mature, right?
And I kind of just jump on my wolf and wait.
Well, okay. Nashu's going up to the Ronin or the whichever of the two that were seemingly the more important, or the two of them that we talked to originally.
I'm just getting the right name so you know who you're speaking to.
And
So yes, Hirobashu Jiro is up front, and beside him is Habsuta Haitsu, who is the paladin of Iori.
mm-hmm. So okay,
Also
well,
monk.
Nashu's coming up and saying, well, is there any of our caravan there aside from Shalalu?
You can see Koya is with them as well.
Okay. And Koya looks well.
She looks well, though she does have a bandage on the arm.
So, well, yes. The citadel is clear. It would appear that you came across your foes.
We annihilated them all before they could reach one of the merchant wagons of the area.
Good to hear. Unfortunately, it appears that at least one member escaped here, and it would seem like it was the leader.
I'm going to say to Koya and point at Nashu, he burnt down a forest and almost killed himself.
I put the fire out.
She looks at Nashu and goes, "You playing with fire again? Didn't you learn that lesson when we first met?
It wasn't me playing with the fire.
Did you play with fireworks?
No, not at all.
Because
Bad
we
guys
know
play with-
Rory has problems with fireworks. He's also told me on multiple occasions.
Bad guys played with fireworks, and it was to their detriment. Which is part of the reason why you'll still see, the citadel, as they came up, they would have seen the citadel was probably still smoking.
Touch fireworks.
So-
I don't know.
This one
But yes, it would appear that the leader was apparently dead, but managed to drag himself to the river just about there. And as you can tell, there's been a lot of horses back and forth over there, so it's a bit hard to tell if you got out.
Well, our paladin says she got word that you killed the commander. So the commander is dead.
Excellent.
So,
And we
Well-
took out his shaman.
Which is a shame.
So does that mean there's no one controlling whatever the undead
well,
creature
Sandrew
that crawled away
will step forward and give an accurate and complete description of the last one that was standing in the citadel.
Yes, yeah, that was the commander of the citadel.
Well, yes, I would agree with you then that he was dead. However, he got away.
But his spirit has passed. It's still gone.
Yeah, well, his body's not.
Okay, the body that was dead managed to drag itself to the river, fall into the river, and then rip apart those bars there that you can see to allow exit.
No one's angered any local spirits, have they? She says, looking around.
I point to our friend here.
Well,
Well.
I guess you know what's coming for you then.
I'm just gonna keep cackling.
You've met.
And then I throw out there, and maybe Nashru.
I'd like
was
to
the
keep
fire.
cackling and then just let it drift off to a sob.
I'd be like, Nashru started it, so he's probably upset the spirit too.
Well, now that we have this empty place that is partly demolished, I'm sure we can rebuild it and try to appease whatever spirit you're upset.
Do you want me to show you where they
Not
were?
right now.
Because they're in bits.
I think it's safer.
Oh. No, it's safer right now because they're in bits.
No, that doesn't mean anything. You've never dealt with the spirit world much, I see, young dwarf.
Did you not pay any
considering
attention
you've reduced your
while
bed
we
length.
went through the months in the
Yeah,
forest?
don't you remember the whole month in the spirit forest where we weren't allowed to draw weapons at all?
Yeah.
Somebody had died many
And you
days.
know, there was that whole, a bunch of us got possessed thing.
Okay, just to clarify, and everyone here who was present at the time saw, I didn't raise any weapons, I wiggled my hands! And something happened. No
And you
weapons.
hear from the background, yes, Mountain. in a bit of an Elvish sort of dialect.
Yep.
So that's what you call raising the mountain, she says. Wheeling your hands, in a gesture.
It's more of a kind of thing, but yeah, anyway.
I see.
So you're looking to move the base operations to here?
Even the damage that is caused here, this place is still far more defensible than that camp.
Indeed. And yes, let's say, the defences themselves have not been significantly damaged. So,
I cackle again.
but yes, in that case then, we'll certainly encourage them to come back inside and
I'm gonna like softly
they can
whisper
rest
to
and I'll be
Nico,
presumably
how much do we want
the
this
next
place?
day or so we'll creep back out to the Ronin camp and start
Nico
moving
says
things back
we
in.
want them to actually work with us and help us retake the country.
I'm going to approach the shaman, paladin,
Yep.
and say,
Oh, pure one, why are you still with these?
you're looking to try and rebuild. I have an elemental gem, an earthen elemental gem that I can give you that once you summon the elemental, as long as you concentrate, it'll stick around for as long as you need, and it can move stuff because it's pretty strong, but it can also burrow through rock and stuff, so it can move around and do things for you.
She closes your hand over the gem and says, well, we could use it for a short time. It's more spiritual for them to do it with their hands, and would help recover whatever taint the bandits had on this place.
I will very respectfully nod my head and say
As
that
he
makes
whispers to
sense.
you, plus, I think it'd be more fun in a fight.
she giggles.
But she is touched by your offer, and then sort of looks at the tainted ones and goes, she understands that they would not.
It's an earth elemental, is it?
It's a gem that summons a 5th level earth elemental.
Right, so what happens is if you need to
It's
use
like-
it, you pull it out and you go, Earth elemental, I choose you!
Yep, pretty much.
That's pretty much what it does.
That is pretty much what it
yes.
does.
And they're not cheap to replace if you can find them. They're like 200 gold.
Oh, that's nothing.
Just think of Hellboy. Is that get too far?
I only have about 45 gold in my own personal store at the moment. I don't know what party's out of gold.
Okay, so they're looking to spend about a week to work on the fortifications. You're willing to help them?
I'll put my hand up saying, I know I haven't done a good first impression, and I pull out the katana like this, hang out, and hand it to the actual Ronin and said, I believe this is yours, sir.
He he bows respectfully and takes his sword, and he goes over to a side somewhere and sits down and communes with his sword. Well, it is his ancestral one.
Will
I
they...
was going to make a joke about romance then, but like that's just gross because if it's ancestral.
Would
So
they
maybe not.
let me help?
They would let you help, yeah.
They would?
Mm.
Because I thought I was tainted.
Tainted people can, get rid of some of the taint by some hard work.
I will do some
Be
hard work.
redeemed.
I don't know how Splat will feel about you doing that.
I can lift the mountain. So yes, I'm happy to stay and help. I don't know about you guys.
I'm gonna go up to Splat and scratch you behind the ears.
He's quite happy.
Nashu
And you get this vision in your head of if you just kick him in the right spot, he'll turn into a ball again. Tells you which spot to kick.
Can you communicate that to us?
I have burst out laughing.
Can you communicate it? Can you?
I also mentioned about the horses and said these horses will look after all the camp kind of thing.
No,
so.
I cannot. That is something I am keeping for me.
I do talk to the horses through, and I'm just saying, can you please look after these people? They would love your help, kind of thing.
We will not leave you, Master. Our honoured God will follow you everywhere. All in horse.
Do I get to call him Horse God? If he insists on calling me Goddess, can I keep
I
calling
don't
him
call
Horse
you
God?
goddess as much as the other one.
Yeah, horse god. I like horse god.
Splat does know he's the horse god, and he's happy to tell you.
Rory the Horse God.
Just a question. You're teaching Amiko how to use the katana? So just wait till the right moment, then kick him. And she's going to be like, I can't do that.
Hey, look, you do it like this.
I'll ask the extra Ronin whether can I borrow one of these katanas for my weapon, since I've given my sword over.
He would be honoured if you would carry one of his sacred weapons, as long as you do not dishonour yourself further.
Is that the ones we
Okay.
found?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're not allowed to keep them?
No, I asked for one. I asked if I could.
Could I have a bow?
They are the they
They belong to this guy.
they don't belong to him. They are samurai ancestral weapons.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so yes, you can take one as long as you do not dishonour the samurai for which you wield it for.
Because basically you're taking up the honour of the family.
I'm
by
really
wielding the
crap
weapon.
at that kind of thing, so I'm not going to take the bow.
Well, it depends on how much you care about whether you dishonour the family line.
Yeti, Faye.
Well, you got to have a turning point.
I mean, you could just keep dishonouring.
But
with
so
the
I'll
time.
also talk to the
That's
Ronin
optional.
about this lance I
Oh, I
found
mean,
to
with
see if he
the-
knows
the
anything about this.
bow.
We found the spear as well.
Which thing? The
The lance.
lance. He goes.
It's a stick.
Yes, it is another ancestral weapon. It's supposed to be the samurais who wield this in battle never fall. No samurai who's ridden into battle with this has ever fallen while holding the lance.
That could.
It says, of
See-
course, considering the history, they could have just dropped the lance, pulled out their sword, and then been slain by a random arrow.
Like I was about to say, actually, as a player, see, you think that's okay until you have a dagger artifact in your hand and you drop it because you get fucking impaled to the ground and are like,
I can't die yet. But it's more for. This is more for an afterthought after I finish what I have to do. This would be handy to have around just in case.
Really?
So the
Oh,
the
yes.
law says that while you're
Jeez.
holding and using the
Now
lance, you
I
cannot
know.
fall in battle.
Yep.
Yes, that's right.
And she's-
So the moment you drop the thing, bad luck could fall upon you.
around 7 foot tall now.
I'll have to take the risk then. Considering what more could happen to Rory right now. So
But
You,
she's still
you,
not
you could
running.
be you could stab yourself with the sword and kill yourself finally.
That would be a funny.
As you hear from inside your head from Splat.
no splat.
You could roll into a ball and roll into the water and not find a way out and be trapped as a ball at the bottom of the ocean.
Actually, you turn
He'd
into a
run
ball,
out of air eventually,
right?
wouldn't he?
And
Oh
I've
no,
got a
actually, but
dwarven.
he would never die because he'd be down there permanently as a ball.
I've got a dwarven thrower. You turn into a ball. We can do some Avengers level shit. You know,
Oh,
like
we could
throw
just-
you up as a ball and
Could
then
we
I
just
throw
build
the
like
hammer.
build a trebuchet? Just carry a trebuchet everywhere with us?
So what happens?
And then Splat tells you about how the thoughts of your friends of using you as artillery weapon.
Yeah. So I get on Bruce, and Bruce and I go for a ride for at least a day away from the camp to get some peace and quiet.
Because that would work.
You don't spend the day in the shrine.
I would spend some time in the shrine with the Ronin just to do the proper thing, but once I've done that, I'll need to get away from myself because I've just handed over the weapon that helps us out, and I go, well, okay, I'm gonna just have to do what I can now. So yeah, I might talk to the Ronin about what happened, kind of thing, and I'm not sure I'll ever be able to. Yeah, I don't. Because I haven't really spoken to him about my prophecy yet to the actual Ronin, have I? So,
You have not.
You're going to go off and walk and have some quiet time? I'm going to go sit with you. And I'm going to say, I want to be alone too. And it's next
No,
to you.
I get on Bruce and galloping away. I'm keeping away from you right now. We've got Evangel Spirit after you. I don't want to get anywhere near that.
I'd like to walk like 20 feet into the forest and just sit.
You sit.
You're walking into the forest.
Well, there'd be a forest nearby, right?
Yes, there is.
There is one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
With
just...
a very angry Fae in it.
I know. I just 20 feet in, I just sit. Just for like 10 minutes or so.
Okay, after about 10 minutes, you wake up surrounded completely by trees with no gap.
So I'm pinned now.
No, you're not pinned. They're not touching you at all.
Uh-huh. I stand up and walk out.
There's no gap.
They'll move for me. What? I'll make them move. I say, look, you either move or I'll make a hole. And I wait for a response.
Oh, this is going to go well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, next time you look, you see that all their branches are now interlaced with each other.
Okay. Look. I will cast Fire Shield. I reach myself. No, actually, no. I shouldn't. No. Look. Okay. I'm sorry. May I please go now?
You feel water drop on you. Drop. Dink.
Yes, you're
Ding.
peeing on me. I get it. May I
Ding.
please go now?
Dink. Just feeling this water dripping ever so slowly.
I think I tried to drown me.
No,
Okay.
it's not pulling up at you. It's just like a drop. A single drop, but hitting you in the helmet.
I want to get out, and I would like to try and push out and then hold my hammer and be threatening and ask them to move.
Nothing happens.
Alright. That's it. I tried. I tried! That's it. It's fine.
So after doing that, I'm going to go commune and spend some time with Bruce and myself by ourselves and just talk about why doesn't the shooting... I don't understand why the sword won't come back to me. I haven't quite picked that up yet, so it's like, I'm going... I don't know.
I would like... Oh, sorry. I would like to cast Sunburst.
Like the cast sunburst.
Yes.
Okay.
A powerful globe of searing sunlight explodes in the area, dealing 8d10 fire damage to creatures in the area, plus an additional 8d10 to undead creatures. They're not undead, so it's fine.
Okay. So
None of those things are creatures unless...
But it'll do damage to trees, won't it?
it will do damage to trees,
Oh, okay.
but it does additional damage to undead.
Oh, no, it just said to all creatures in the area. So I didn't know if trees counted as creatures.
Trees can count as creatures if they're actually living.
Yeah, if they're sentient.
Yeah, sentient. Yeah.
I will cast that.
Okay, so while you're talking to the horses and having some time in the shrine, as everyone else is helping out with this stuff, you sort of see that there are trains of merchants coming up with supplies and stuff over the next week or so while doing stuff. And then on one of those days, you see the dwarf walk out and sit on the edge of the forest, and then sort of look confused and try to move around with nothing around him. And he seems to be angry at the air. And then you see a kid coming up to walk over and say, "Hey,
Oh
you're okay."
no! Not a kid!
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
What is it with you and kids? Seriously?
I don't know, what is it with you and kids?
You do know that Pathfinder is a horror fantasy
Yeah,
game.
she just told me. Wisdom saving? So wisdom.
Wisdom saving, will saving, yeah,
will
saving
save?
throw, yeah, will save.
31.
31. Okay, so as you fire off your spell, sending it out, and you're sure you've shredded all the trees, and then you realize the trees are an illusion. As your flame just starts going out from you, you see that there's a little kid coming up, going, as a flame just passes right through him, and it hits a caravan behind him, and through that too.
It's 60 feet. Is the caravan within 60 feet?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
And then basically around you is just a pile of ash everywhere.
While I see this from a distance,
Is there any way I could save the kid?
No,
Regenerate?
can I
there's nothing to save. You're looking at it. There's just this pile of ash.
Can I just kill the kid?
can I reach out to this Fae, because I'm really don't think
You
he's
end
got...
up getting food?
No, I didn't.
Just be careful it's hot.
So I'm gonna while I'm a distance away from him, I'm just
I
gonna.
just killed a
I'm
kid.
in the forest, just sitting with the horse, and I'll try to kind of meditate like I was praying to the shrine, and I'll just say, dear
And
Fae,
then you hear some screams from outside.
I'm trying to concentrate because I'm going. Okay. Dear Fae creature, I do not know your name.
You do realise that the Fae would not answer you in the shrine, because the shrine is for a different god completely.
Not at the shrine. I'm actually just out in the forest. Kind of thing. I'm just having some fun time with Bruce. Away from
This happened while you were in the shrine.
Oh, in the shrine. Okay.
Yeah, I just killed a kid.
Wow. Koya,
Yep.
I think you need to have a nice talking to our dear dwarven friend.
I just sit down, take all my weapons out, put them on the ground, and wait for whatever the fuck's gonna happen next. Yeah. Bow laying on the ground, hammer on the ground, take my armor off.
Everyone sort of looked in shock and go, "What happened?"
and discuss
There
it.
was this burst of fire from over here.
I just exploded a kid.
Why did you explode a kid?
The trees lied to me.
But what happened to the caravan over there with all the people and supplies?
There's people in it!
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I killed them too!
And I just go, Koya, I said, it's like the Yetis again. I'm just walking the other direction. It's like, I don't want to go anywhere near this.
So you let something confuse you and you killed people because of it, they ask?
Yeah, just kill me. Just, it's fine. Honestly.
I'm going to continue praying at the shrine. Okay.
We're going to ask Koya for guidance. She seems to be a little wiser. The paladin's currently asking to kill you.
Yep, let them.
They're saying, well, we would rather you check what's going on here first.
I make it very clear that my weapons are all on the ground and I just sit. And I cross my legs and I'm just...
So after about 2 hours later, Koya comes back saying, I believe the spirit of the forest is responsible.
Mm-hmm. I just killed people.
Yes, but the spirit of the forest was controlling you
I
at the
just
time.
killed... My character is not dealing with this. My character is not responding. He is curled up. My puppy's probably sniffing me, but I am not responding to anything.
I think you need to ask for forgiveness and explain that it wasn't meant to be anger the Fae being, and maybe it might stop, because otherwise you will not be as a person who's been through many Fae things before, it might be a good thing just to be on the good side there.
The Yeti broke me almost, and I just killed a kid and a caravan full of people.
Yep.
So I'm quite happy to leave the weapons where they are and walk into the forest and let the Fae finish me off at this stage, because
Koya says, if you do that, then it will probably torment the rest of us because you've left us. Basically, they are not sane or rational people. They do not come at you head on. They always come at you through your worst fears.
I walk up to the paladin and hand them my weapons, and just say like...
The paladin doesn't touch the weapons because she doesn't like touching you.
You're right. I chuck them on the ground next to her, and I just go and sit on a stool somewhere. Yep. Yep.
She also sort of looks at you and says, have you not learnt about, creatures of deception, the Fae? Did you not spend 2 months going through their forest?
And they never did anything to me.
But you saw what they did to one of your members.
Yeah, but he's a dick.
And I look at you when you say that, and go, I'm a dick. I don't kill Yeti babies. I don't kill people. It's like, I'm a
Kill
dick.
people. Fucking kill people.
I don't kill...
Swords kill
Sure.
people. He doesn't kill people.
Exactly. I burnt the... Yeah. I just start curling up in a ball. I'm sure my character will recover, but right now he's
Okay,
having a lay down.
the paladin sort of goes over and has a look and says, there's only ash here. There's no sign that anyone was actually here. There's no bones, no metal, no trade good stuff.
There was a caravan.
And she walks over to where the caravan was and says, there's no signs of footprints, no signs of...
Are we missing a caravan? Like...
They look at you and she looks at you and says, was the caravan actually here? Or is this another form of your punishment?
I just curl up. I just curl up. I'm having a nap. I believe this is where I roll a nap roll.
She touches the ground and says, no one's died here recently.
I have a natural 20 nap.
So you've checked out.
I'm just not. Oh god.
And yes, that's the sort of thing the Fae will do.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's yeah.
They'll make you believe you've done your worst fear. And you've just been owned by a Fae.
I just got Colin Farrelled. Oh, that's not cool. Oh dear. Alright, well I nap. So yes.
And when you wake up, there's this symbol on the back of your hand that wasn't there before.
Is the splat symbol still on the other side of
It
his
is.
hand?
So what's the symbol on the other side?
It's some sort of Fae writing. It's in Sylvan.
Do you know Sylvan?
Does anyone? No, I
I
don't.
don't.
Does anyone know what this means? What's this
I know
mean?
Silver. What does it say?
It is a strange name you've never seen before. You don't even know how to pronounce it.
You've been marked.
It's actually a name though, is it?
You've been marked.
Interesting.
You've been marked.
But using Sylvan characters all entwined together.
Yeah. So, do you say that it's a name?
I say it's the name I cannot pronounce. I can read it, but it doesn't make sense to me.
See, what you're going to do is figure out how to pronounce it. Because sometimes the Fae don't like their...
If you say it 3
Name.
times, then they'll come.
I look out at the forest and I go,
Candyman, Candyman, Candyman.
Yeah, like saying their name in the actual right pronunciation attracts their attention, doesn't it? And can make them appear.
But the 3rd time forces them.
Yeah. Not that you
Montezuma, Montezuma, Montezuma.
Not
But-
that you necessarily want them to
But
show
the
up.
big
Oh,
thing
I
is,
do.
forcing them to show up doesn't actually mean you have any power over them.
No.
You only bring them to you.
Yep.
It's how you bring them to you that gives you the
Like
power.
it's helpful if they're an ally.
Mm.
And if they hate you, they can just, own you.
This is so they know where I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright.
You know how Splat knows where you are? This
Yeah.
is the same thing. You got
Is Splat upset
No.
that I've been marked?
He doesn't mind.
Oh.
He's now got another playmate. And considering Splat is a demon of nightmares, and that creature just gave you a nightmare.
I'm just upset that it's on the
Splat's
one
getting,
hand.
Splat's getting fed.
I feel like it should be on both hands so I could be like, and cast a spell kind of thing. But
Well, it's like, spell, spell, spell.
is that going to mess with my spell casting?
No.
Okay.
Probably a good thing you didn't take that bow or katana and then attack the trees with it. Because you're meant to be getting more pure, not less.
Mm.
And so for quite a few hours afterwards, there's this talk of how the dwarf thought he burnt down a forest, thought he burnt down a kid, thought he burnt down a wagon, but in the end only basically burnt the grass in the area he was in.
I did blow up the Fae first though. That happened.
Yes. That
Yes.
But now the Fae is messing with you.
Yes.
Yep.
So there's a talk about trying to keep at least 70 to 80 feet from you while you appear to be resting.
Would we agree that there's like a burnt out area where there's no forest anymore?
Yep.
I go and put my tent in the middle of it.
Yep.
That's where I sleep.
Not in the fortress that they're
No.
rebuilding.
No, because if I freak out and try and burn the crap out of Faye again,
Right.
and in fact I tell Wolfie to sleep next to the caravan.
He's looking a little singed.
Yeah.
He got caught in the edge of the blast.
It's like, "Arr!" Yeah, no. So if they're messing
What happened
with
to his rough pelt that he had on?
Oh, he still got that.
Then
Okay,
seems
just
not
asking.
He didn't burn himself.
I'm just checking.
like, what if I took lots of drugs so that I was messed with already?
Wow. This is going to a dark.
So that means you won't tell us the drugs, Splat, or this other creature messing with you.
Exactly.
All the
So
party.
yeah, no. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, I might have to do that thing. I've just got to check how long it lasts.
It's alright, you don't need to protect me. I'm fine.
I can actually cast the same thing.
Oh, it only lasts for a minute.
It does. It doesn't last very long. What it does is gives you a chance to give someone protection for a short time.
There's a higher level spell of it that can actually last longer.
Oh, if I heighten it to 4, it'll last an hour, but that's still not enough time, really.
Yeah, it's for, oh crap, something's coming. Nah, stop
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Pikachu, I choose you. Go forward and stop that thing.
So I'll hand the sword over to Miko now.
Might be worth me trying to do that as a heightened at some point, though. Like, just, like remember it as a heightened.
So yeah.
Okay, so things you do learn from Jiro and Hatsu is that the Jade Regent is currently amassing troops to defend his claim to the Jade Throne.
So they know we're here.
Well, Amiko rang the bell.
But also the fact that they've been amassing troops, presumably since he took the throne when none of the other families were in the
But
position to do
that was
so.
a long time ago.
They were also technically within the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, just because Amiko's family's been gone a long time, there's been other families that could take the Jade Regent
right.
position.
So hers was like the ruling one. They attacked first, and since then they've been basically going through.
Well,
the
there were
competition.
5 ruling ones,
Yeah.
and each one got attacked, and that one saw the writing on the wall and left
Yeah.
with the remainder of its people.
Yeah, but ever since then, they've been going through anyone who might, systematically going through anyone who might have any claim and
Yep.
taking them out.
And so the rumors are the Emperor is still hiding, and the governor of the capital, Kasai, is accused of treason. Minkai has become alienated from the other Tianzia nations, so it's now considered no longer aligned or outlaw. And trade has shut down. And basically, all the ruling areas of this nation have had their taxes more than doubled. Everyone's been crippled by the tax rises of the Jade Regent.
And that's
Yeah.
a bad thing.
Now, I assume that since we're giving him the sword, he would know that we have some sort of heritage in our group now. So I'm sure. Has he asked any questions about that or not?
He hasn't asked any ancestry questions at this stage because he would assume you'd be wearing the ancestral heritage as part of your clothing.
Yep.
Most people do wear it up and down.
Okay.
So he's going to send out some feelers for more information about what's going on.
I was going to say, so the Ronin, how many warriors does he have under his command?
Well, he does have more than 100 all up, but most of them have been spread out dealing with banditry. And he's going to start bringing people to this place as a staging ground, and he'll send out scouts to get information while you're helping make this place livable.
Yep. But it also, so 100 fighting men is probably not enough to try and take on the forces that the Jade Regent has.
Well, it's 100 samurai.
100 samurai.
So it's not 100 fighting men, it's 100 samurai. He doesn't count the non-samurai.
Well, okay, but Nashu's made his own count of what he considers fighting men, i.e. men under arms, or women under arms.
He'd probably have access to about 500 or more, but he only counts the samurai.
And did he have any indication as to how many fighting men or women that the Jade Regent might have under his command?
He does not know yet. That's what he's going to use his scouts to find out.
Yeah. But are we talking
count
a number in the hundreds, or thousands?
He
Tens?
counts opponents, but
Sorry?
he counts opponents. But when he goes into battle, his samurai are the ones who take the front. So he tries to protect the lesser people to guard his rear, and not try to waste them in meaningless battles.
Now, I'll be talking to him over the next whatever days it is. I'm trying to rebuild some rapport back with the Ronin. Have I made any thing on that since?
Well, he's happier now that Amiko is holding the ancestral sword, because hey, it is her family line.
That's fair enough. He doesn't
And
know
you're
that.
not.
And
No, I actually am family line, but not.
Not from his opinion.
And as she's trying to put herself up as the next emperor,
It helps that she's got the sword.
the sword adds more weight than anything else. If you're holding the sword and you meet with any of the daimyos, then you're emperor. She is a pretender to the throne.
I know. I'm going to be pretty different now. Big difference.
But yeah, so Nashru's been avoiding some of the heavy lifting type stuff with this repair by volunteering to be scouting out in the forest and on most days and things like that. But yeah, so we're looking
So if he's
at
scouting in the forest, is he getting fucked with too?
the
Okay.
so we haven't got enough forces at the moment to try and take on the Jade Regent. So presumably we want to try and gain additional allies, possibly amongst all these disaffected merchants and peasants and...
Well, Jiro's hoping to bring in the militias and the peasants and bring them out of the places where the fighting are. So there's a chance for the people to survive because, as far as he's concerned, the average person should not be put to the sword just because it's convenient.
Well,
Though he is...
Nashru certainly agrees with that sort of sentiment.
And the other thing is, if all the fighting people fall, then who's left to protect them from the dangers of the world?
Yes.
So he suggests that you approach the ninja clans of the region, because if anything, they seem to be more inclined to what Nashru is, considering Nashru dresses as a ninja.
Yep.
And they would...
But with Nashru's knowledge of Tian law, he also recognises that ninjas often have a close relationship with the peasantry and things like that, don't they? In the sense that whilst they might be considered outlaws and thieves or rogues, often they're actually doing a reasonable job of looking after the local people and things like that when the Lord may not. Maybe for a price, but...
They are also very much spiritual people, unless, of course, they've been corrupted. So you can have your good ninjas and your bad ninjas.
Yep,
So,
okay.
And now, I'm not sure if you remember back when I was a princess, that we discussed a lot about the different families and all that kind of stuff. And that was discussion about some of those being ninja clan kind of families. So I know there was good and bad ones in that list that Mark gave us originally, if I can remember rightly.
And the next one he recommends approaching are the geisha, because if anyone's going to be able to get information for you, it's them. They are the eyes and ears of Minakai. They come and go everywhere, and they are talked to by all levels of society.
I put my hand up for that one. I had a lot of respect for geishas back in the day.
And the last one that you'd want to try to get to are the daimyo, the current governors of the different locations. If you can get the daimyos on board, then the Jade Regent has no support. Most of the soldiers he has come from the daimyos, unless he's had some way of taking their loyalty.
If the daimyos were eliminated, are their replacements likely to be supportive or opposed to the Jade Regent?
The problem with eliminating them is then their support, their samurai become Ronin and then can take service with the Jade Regent as a way of keeping their honor. And then they would be his.
Yeah.
So...
if they knew there was an option to take service with one such as yourself?
Difference, I'm not a daimyo, I am a samurai. Samurai do not serve samurai in that way.
So I actually thought he was Ronin, wasn't he?
He is Ronin, but he is a samurai Ronin.
Yeah, but
Yes.
So they'll have to serve our point to Miko, and Miko would be the one they'll have to serve if they're going to be serving anyone.
But if their army is, say, in another province, and you kill their leader in a different province, then and they hear of that, they're not going to come back to the city.
And I don't think we should. I think we should do this peacefully if we can, because the more peaceful we have on the side, it's going to be easier.
I'm not suggesting that first point was to us. Merely asking if they were unresponsive. Are there replacements likely to be in a similar role? So
Probably, but the replacements would have no authority over the armies.
Yep.
Because the armies are pledged to the person, not the office.
So what happens to the army at that point?
They would then either have to return home and repledge themselves, or pledge themselves to a new lord.
Right.
And if they're currently working with a lord, such as the Jade Regent,
And if they do neither, they become Ronin.
and if they leave, they become Ronin and basically become outcasts and can never return home. So if their lord dies while they're away, they can't return home.
Which is what happened.
But you said that they would have to go home.
They would have to go home and make some sort of appeasement,
Right.
or offering, begging to be allowed to serve again,
Right.
for having failed in their duty to protect the.
Protect the Dungeon.
They'll have to commit.
Most of them will end up dead under Lord.
Yeah.
So they'll have to commit the
Commit
sacred
seppuku.
rite. Yeah.
So it would be they return home to die, not return home to serve.
Yeah.
But some of them, that doesn't end them. So coming back from the dead is not uncommon from someone who's killed themselves and then they get the right to serve again. So
So that would seem like 3 appropriate groups of people to approach. Do you have any details yet as to the easiest way to approach one or more of these groups, or is that what you're still awaiting word from?
That's what I'm awaiting word from. I sent scouts out as soon as we broke camp from the tents.
Yep.
And we should hear back from them in the next week or two. This is probably the best chance you have of taking a break without someone trying to kill you straight away. Because the Jade Regent no longer has any forces up here. The bandits were affiliated with the Jade Regent.
All the more reason why to check them out.
So, one thing I would like to do, the shrine we found inside, I'd like to use some help with the Hararashi, whatever. See if we can repair it in some way to give some sort of glory back to it. Based on it is my patron that I used to serve before Mika. And also see if I can help just with all the general labour, see if we can bring some stabilis back to the whole thing and all that. So I'm willing to do some hard labour for 2 weeks to help out. So
Even the Ronin will basically do the heavy lifting. Because he won't assign work to anyone. He won't do himself.
That's right. I'll help. The whole time I want to make sure that I can show that I'm not as bad as what they think I am. So, because I want to appease based on, while I might come across as tainted, I am not that bad. So
And I'm gonna watch.
you can watch. And I'll see if Bruce wants to help with just moving things. Be Bruce the Savage.
Well, you've got 30 odd horses who can all help pull things.
No, all the horses will be happy because they're heroic horses. I don't know what to do with 30 horses now. I have no idea, but I'm going to have to talk to Spud about...
Ask Dave, he'll tell you.
Yeah. I'll talk to Dave. How many horses you got? How do you got that many? I've got 30. And I don't even worship it. I'm a horse god too, by the way. Yeah. I'll stir him up, yeah.
So I think that might be a good spot to stop
I think
tonight.
so,
Yep, okay.
And you have
Thank you
finished
very much.
part 1 of book 5.
Just a question: Do
Part
horses,
1.
do horses attack?
Yeah.
Yes, I do have attacks on my horse. Bruce actually does 3D.
You could have 30
Okay,
horses.
so Jeremy, I'm
just
going to put it on to end things.
All
running
good,
to
no
keep
worries.
the
Have a
cap
good
out a
night
little
all. Thank you very much.
And I'll
we'll
see you tomorrow.
tomorrow night, next week, or the week after. Well, actually,
I was tempted to get
maybe not the week after.
That's true.
I'll have to work up when it is.
Either way, we'll catch you later.
Unless we
Catch
got
you
one
then.
else,
Bye for now.
chase